All right, I believe we are live.
Live.
We is?
Hey.
So what's up, everybody?
All right.
Fuck.
Hello. Welcome to what is supposed to be the Cabana-Crypto-Coffee with Karim. You get all the plays on words there. Show along with Yashdeep, who is graciously in for Big Kirk. So thank you for being here, Yashdeep. And Crypto Vince on mute. Okay.
Hey.
What's up? So I just wanted to welcome everybody and give a special shout out, because I'm going to get this correct, okay? A special shout out to the inefficient, dull, repetitive, low quality live streams that do not look cool and make people mad. Okay?
Oh, I know
So,
what you're referring to. Yeah.
Welcome to our efficient, non-repetitive, high quality, once a week, good time live stream that looks damn cool because all of us are on it. Okay. I could go on.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but we'll let it go.
Yeah, we'll let that go there. Maybe not, but I'll bring it up later. Maybe not. So anyway, I think what everybody's jonesing to talk about right now, and we can just start off with it, is Richard's tweet this morning, and I'll go ahead and pull it up. But while I'm locating it here, Coffee, would you like to summarize and dive into it, and I'll bring it up?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. If you live under a rock, like you haven't heard by now, he's hiring Rust and Go developers. If you are a developer, go do it. From what I understand, he wants to upgrade the Rust client of go.hex.com. That's the top priority. Maybe make some improvements there. Then potentially fork the Ethereum network and wrap shares on possibly that fork, possibly other blockchains. Who knows? Maybe wrap them in Optimism Layer 2. I have no idea what route he's going to go with it, but apparently he's recognizing the need for something else better. And that's all before ETH2 comes out, because if ETH2's date is going to be 2022, that's, I mean, it's not a long time, but it's 9 months from now. And we've seen how everyone gets their panties in a bunch after 3 months of sideways activity. So, something's happening, guys. Progress is being made all the time. And, for those out there that are getting frustrated with the sideways action, use it as a time to build. Look what Richard's doing. Look what we're all doing. I'm making a Hex course, Hex Passive Income. It's coming along nicely. It's almost done. And we're all just waiting and kind of positioning ourselves for that day when Ethereum is either cheaper or when Hex is adapting to be on a new blockchain or a new fork or whatever that might be. This tweet's vague. I mean, I understand the go.hex.com improvements for sure. As far as I understand, it's more of just like a infrastructure upgrade of maybe the Rust client or something like that. Forking ETH is interesting. I'm imagining what that would look like. I think the Matic network really helped me figure out what that would look like. So I was experimenting with QuickSwap and Matic, and it's awesome. You get cheap, almost free fees, and they're instantaneous. And QuickSwap.exchange, there's actually over $1 million of liquidity there right now in Hex. It's probably less now. The quick price went down, but you can go there and test it out, and it really does work. What that looks like is essentially when you click on MetaMask in the top right corner of your browser, there's a little tiny green indicator that says Ethereum mainnet on it. If you click that drop down, you can also connect to different test networks like the Robston test network, the Kovan test network. You can also hook up the Matic mainnet. And this is where you can also hook up other custom RPCs, different remote clients to connect to. And you can even hook up to Ethereum Classic, stuff like that. So the MetaMask software can be used interoperably with a lot of different side chains that I believe are just forks of Ethereum. ETC is an obvious fork of Ethereum. Matic, not sure if that's a fork of Ethereum or not. And we also can't forget that when you fork Ethereum, it doesn't require its own token. So it's not like you need to fork a network and build a token for it. You could fork a network and just airdrop the system state to everybody, and so they can use it trustlessly. Now, I think there does have to be a bridge of some kind where you actually transfer tokens from one to the other. So that's what I'm a little confused about. If it can be airdropped without a bridge, that would be really awesome. and if the system state could just kind of be copied and synced together, that would be super interesting. I'm not sure what he's planning. I'm not technical enough to know how to even solution around that, but something's telling me that he's favoring sidechain and alternate networks over layer 2, because right now layer 2 really, it's not a perfect solution. You need to pay money to get into layer 2. You need to pay money to get out of layer 2. And it's another layer on top of, imagine how complex crypto already is for the new person, right? Like, you got to explain how to stake Hex, how to make a ladder, go to hex.com, buying on Uniswap, buying on Coinbase, transferring it to MetaMask, and all these different steps, right? It feels like second nature to us, but everyone in crypto gets so comfortable with themselves, and they think that, you know, it's easy. It's so easy. Why can't everyone figure it out? But you really have to have empathy for the new user, because the only thing that matters in crypto is adoption and new users. And the only way you get adoption is with better user experience and a better product. So looks like Richard's got his eye on the ball there. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Also, welcome, Karim.
Karim.
What's going on, guys?
How
So
you doing, man?
late. I'm just with a client, just finishing up work.
Oh, you're all good,
Yeah.
man.
Friday, man.
Coffee
Yeah.
was just giving his take on Richard's tweet this morning about possible hex hires.
Nice, right? Hey, funny joke. Who's surprised, huh?
That's what Coffee was saying, right?
Right? Yeah, it's fucking great. I can't wait. So get out there, devs. Go apply. It seems like a very lucrative opportunity too.
Yeah.
And you're building literally the future of cryptocurrency. So like, I wouldn't want to be working on anything but this right now. If you believe in Hex and you see the long-term vision, not only is he going to pay who knows how much, but probably enough to make you happy. Then you get all the benefits that come with whatever is going to happen out of the Hex network as well. Because if people can start staking Hex for free and for cheap and instantaneously, it's going to fulfill the ideal that it was always supposed to. That's
Absolutely.
the only thing stopping it. The only thing is gas right now.
What is Cardano built on? Does he use Go, or does he use or Solidity, or what is
I don't know. I wish I knew that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to throw shade on Cardano or anything, and I'm no developer, but like, again, it's not even a finished product. I mean, all I hear about is like, you can do a little bit of this and a little bit of staking, and then you play on the exchange. I mean,
Coming soon.
correct me, please.
Ethereum's not a finished product either, you know? So
There you go. Because I learned my lesson with EOS. Straight up. I learned my lessons. Okay. Learning from me. $50,000. Real money. I bought it, and here's the crazy part. I bought it when it was like $2. I was that early, launch phase, everything. Believed in the hype, went to the event. I drove to DC. I was there, dude. I got the stuff still here. All the gift they gave us. We're gonna do this. We're gonna build the world. Blah blah blah. I stake all my shit, all it provided for the network, because I was just working. I was like, man, this is gonna be the future. We're gonna build this blockchain, real estate, dude. I heard it all. The hype made sense. Dan Lemmer, dude. I was watch hours of street. He taught me blockchain, like real talk, because he had those things. He was going like, I don't know if you guys remember that. You know, he had those videos in the board, writing down. You know, anti-blockchain communication, like, you know, for somebody that's a non-developer but that has, you know, a good mind, he's really good at explaining certain things. So it looks all great on paper. Yes, it's not a security. Yes, we didn't buy XYZ. That's fine. But the disappointment came where even when what you said you're going to do, see, because I'm not even mad about the whole, you know, is there security? No, I don't care about that. We knew what we were doing. We knew what we were buying. What I'm upset about, to some degree, now I'm cool. I made peace with it. Thank God to Hex. But it's just like the level of disrespect, right? You end up literally not doing anything, quitting, and then you use the money that we raised to go and invest into the protocol that you said you're going to replace. I'm like, ah! and then now the Bitcoin bag is like this big, and it's just like, come on now. But again, that's how you learn. It can look good on paper, all the hype.
But if we're speculating on what Richard's thinking, I don't think he wants to do his own blockchain. I don't think he wants to move over to these blockchains. And I don't blame him at all. If I was in his position right now, I would look at Matic and see how well that's working as a side chain, a layer one, kind of a layer one. It's kind of debatable, but it's working well. And that's something that you can just RPC into with MetaMask. So you have to build very minimal extra infrastructure. You're just building a sidechain. You're copying and pasting Ethereum, just like Ethereum Classic, right? It's a copy paste. It's the same shit. just nobody wants to build on it because who cares? It's Ethereum Classic, right?
But also, to be fair, you have to worry about that 51% attack because people still don't understand. Yeah, you can copy it, but at any time somebody don't like you, they can just reorg you. So that's really the biggest thing, because it was that easy. Everybody would have kind of done it already, and then you got to run the node and this and that. That's why I like more option, kind of like you said, to some degree, Matic, something, or kind of like with StakerApp, because they're working on finding where to lower the fee. But the biggest problem is that you still need that staking, because the bridge is so nice until they tell you, again, rumors, because me, too much money is on the line. I'm not leaving layer one. I'm not here to shit talk any other stuff. To me, with the money I move, it's just not worth it. The same way I've missed a lot of airdrop. That's fine. I got the Uniswap one because, well, guess what? Hex is on Uniswap. So I had to have it. So I really, again, I stay in my lane, what I know I understand. And the problem is the $40 thing, it's just, it kind of defeats the purpose. And we're technically, we're not traders at the core level. Of course, I know some Mexican likes to trade, but at the core level, if you just do a one and done, that's key. And what I can share is that, again, Staker is working on ways to, again, lower the fees. The simple fact that when you stake through the app, you don't have to worry about your transaction failing. That's a plus. Because I remember spending $30. I don't know about you guys, spending $30 on a transaction, and it fails. And my gas fee is gone. Funny joke, when I send money to Steph to pay for the wallet, literally the first time I send the money, right, I pay for the speed and it fails on me. $50 gone. And I'm like, what? And then I do it again, or if you do like multi-staking through the app, you pay fee once. Like things like that are great. And I think for Richard, it's more like a game of the probability about what comes first. Either Ethereum scale, we all watch Vitalik post and we get the 100x, and this becomes a history, and then all the hypes and the other shit just disappear and everything back to Ethereum, like Look Into Crypto said. I don't know if you, Cabana, did you guys talk about the Binance FUD yet or not yet? I'm not yet too ahead.
That's up next.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned it in the green room.
It's related to that. Vince, let's get your take on it. Yashdeep, Vince, what's up?
Well, so we know that EIP 1559 got accepted, and it's likely to come out in July. So with that, fees should drop, right? And so I find it interesting that, given that news came out, that Richard's still thinking about doing whatever it is he's thinking about doing. But at the same time, I also noticed that the miners are threatening to attack the system if EIP 1559 gets accepted. So I wonder if it's kind of like a response to the miners saying, hey, if you guys do this, we're going to, do this and that. So I don't know if there's a game that's being played, or if he's hedging his bets, and, just looking for a better solution altogether. Like, hey, if you guys are going to fight about the silly stuff, like, let me just go make something much better. I don't know, but those are kind of the thoughts that ran through my head.
Yeah, I mean, I had similar thoughts too. I think we also know that Ethereum is transitioning to 2.0, and I'm thinking with the forking ETH thing, maybe it could possibly just be like a kind of like a backup or safe haven, so that we have something to jump to just in case something goes wrong with the transition to 2.0. So that's the only thing that I was thinking about. So,
yeah. I mean, I do trust Vitalik to a degree. I know he's it's been a long time planning, but there's so much other noise going on, so many shiny objects, like, you got your polka dots and your ETH killers. But we've heard the narrative before. Like Karim said, the EOS narrative is one of the famous examples of the fail. But like, we've heard Tezos is going to be the next one. How's that working out? All this stuff, Tron. Yeah, right. But like, you've got, if you do make a fork, Karim brought up this point. How do you get consensus on that fork? How do you get consensus without centralizing everything? Because with Matic, I'm a little skeptical about it because I kind of feel like Binance owns all the nodes and they're just not telling anybody. I kind of feel like they got their slimy tentacles in there, but I don't know yet. But how would you guys want to do a consensus mechanism on a fork? Any ideas?
I saw the possibility of T-shirts floated out there.
So a couple of things I think which is really cool to unpack here, and this is gonna be fun. Hex clip, if you're watching, this is for you, and it's related to business. So there's three important points here that I want to tackle. Point number one, in terms of Richard, because the way I had it in my mind is it's not so much about the fee, the fork idea. It goes back to the core. It goes back towards the encapsulated stake stuff, moving it into multiple blockchain to allow that transition. I think he's more thinking on that direction, which makes sense because he will just lock up more hex and then move it to different chains, kind of how we basically teleport ourselves in multiple chains. I think he's more looking at something like that more than the fee stuff, because the fee stuff, it's literally going to fix itself. They will scale. Ethereum is no joke. Vitalik is no joke. There's a reason why the futures, which brings to number 2, got listed. All those guys talking is just empty fang. In the world of business, when you're about to attack a preemptive, you don't talk about it. You just do. If they're whining and complaining about it, it's because they know it's coming. And guess what? There's nothing they can do about it. The same way Ethereum Classic got left behind, because they got this whole thing planned out. They got the money. They got the Ethereum. The moment they were able to get the minimum deposit to launch the chain, it's just, hey, get with the program or we're going to leave you behind. Now, the program is not that bad. Ethereum is doing $20 million of fee every day. The miner that's just talking shit is just the little people that are just loving the high fee to just, screw the rest of the network. But there's other miners that understand the math, like, wait a minute, if the burning comes in and if we hold the ETH instead of dumping it, they become more valuable. So long term, the value proposition is network scale. If we're doing $19 to $20 million a day in volume, just imagine what we can do years from now once we scale. Because this, as much as I fucking hate it, this stupid NFT plus all this other DeFi going on, it's gonna bring the volume. Those people are gonna get paid. All that is just a scare tactic. And then some of them are related to Binance, because people forget Binance have Ethereum miners. They have mining pool. It was messing some of their profitability. So this is literally just a hiccup in the road. Ethereum Alliance, they got Wall Street backing. They don't even care about those people complaining. They're just going to get left behind. So if you're smart and you're mining, buy your ETH and be ready, because it's going to happen. And number 3, in terms of again, going back to the business model, is that if we understand, and that's what Richard is smart, if we can build something with the community and do it the right way, it goes back to what I was saying before about those things are going to happen anywhere, like the encapsulate. As long as we can do it within the community, have our own version with people that we semi-trust, we have kind of like a control structure going on, instead of dealing with some random people that can come in, and those are going to be the people hurting the chain. The same way when we talk about real shiny object is, oh, you heard about these so-and-so coins, then you go pump and dump, and then you lose all your money. And by the time you come back to Hex, you got no more money left. So those are the 3 dynamics that's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, and David Gonzalez says, yeah, we should remain open to the possibility that ETH isn't the one that prevails. I do think it's very, very, very likely that ETH does prevail, but it's more about what's happening in the meantime. What's happening in this short-term craziness where everyone's fighting for that temporary solution, the Band-Aid, right, to the long-term problem. And, you do have Binance too. Binance is a big player and they're a force to be reckoned with, and they're not going to go away anytime soon. But,
but guess what? Now they're messing with the wrong people, because this whole suit, whatever, this is what happened when you were bullying and taking the lunch money of the little guy. And then when you start messing with CFTC money, because this is all about money at the end of the day. CFTC is the people doing the futures. When they see Binance wrecking people hundreds of millions of dollars, I did a video with Wells about it, remember? About all the people getting wrecked.
That 125x leverage, 125x.
Exactly, more than even freaking BitMEX. So this is what I'm saying. They're going to start with the probing, just like they did with BitMEX before. The FUD's going to kick in. And those people are smart, they're strategic. When they probe you, trust me, they already got you. I mean, everybody here with a 5-minute Google search clue understand that all those stupid YouTubers are bragging about using VPN. We all know Americans are using it. We don't even need to hide it. It's not even throwing anybody on the bus. And they already got mad fucking evidence. They just start small and then they get you. What do you think Binance hired that ex-senator guy to be part of the PR team? Why is that?
Because that was just yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they're trying to make sure they cover their tracks before it becomes something big. And those people, they're smart. They go after the big exchange. Again, BitMEX used to be the number 1 go-to for leverage trading. When BitMEX is now just 1%. Who's the number 1? Binance, 90-some%. Guess what? CFTC is like, all right, that's the target. We're going to go over there. And then perfect coincidence with Coinbase about to IPO, right? Guys, it's just too perfect. I'm sorry. I see those things. To me, it's like the Matrix. It's just so fucking obvious. And that can create a bear market because Binance is the biggest exchange. So it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be FUD's going to wreck a lot of people. They just mentioned it today. The thing went down 15%. Just rumors, right? And CZ had to go and talk about, everything's cool. No, it's coming. So you combine that plus bear market, it's going to fix all the fees. The same way people went to this other chain, we got lesser fee. It's just going to happen. We just need to understand that whoever moves too fast, too quick, actually lose. And running your own chain is not that easy. It's good to talk about it. It's good to have another idea. I think it's more about the encapsulated stakes.
That's a good point because, you know, in Silicon Valley and stuff, there's this mentality of move fast and break things, right? But I want to change that paradigm because that shit works when you have like a pizza tracker app, right? That works when you do like Instacart and everyone's starting to copy Instacart. It's okay if you break things. But you're talking about millions of dollars and governments are involved and CFTC, and this is people's livelihoods. You can't just move fast and break things, right? You got to move slow, just like Hex is moving calculated, slow, carefully. I think Ethereum is doing the same thing. Binance has been kind of playing a game of catch up, copy and catch up.
Of course, and they always copy because Ethereum always does the innovation. And to me, that's the key. Right.
Yeah.
And by the time they publish an upgrade, you're going to be left behind like you're inexistent. Because if your only moving advantage is lower fee, the moment it scales, you literally become worthless overnight. And that's actually and we have seen it. Again, EOS did it too. This is nothing new. This whole 21 validator, 81 value, who cares? It's not thousands of nodes like Ethereum.
Yeah. It's just there's so many other options right now in the middle term, right? You got your Matic network, you got your Polkadot coming up. Everybody's using NFTs on all this shit, which is just gonna, we'll see which ones can actually handle the bloat from the NFTs because that's gonna be a lot of the transactions. It's gonna be a weird couple months, but I think we got one solid good pump left. We got one good last run in this bull market because the Coinbase IPO is gonna be the thing. Yeah.
Is that a pulse or a pump?
One good pulse. We got one good pulse left.
But I will say one thing about the Matic, at least, which is semi-positive. At least it's technically, correct me if I'm wrong, Yashdeep, but it's technically layer 2, technically part of the Ethereum ecosystem. It's not like a completely separate chain. Is it? Or am I understanding wrong? When they say layer 2, what do they mean by that?
So I don't fully know either, but I think it's my understanding as of today, just this morning in the dev chat, is that it's a layer 1 sidechain, right? So it's a whole that is closer to what this projected hex net would be, this hex fork that we don't know anything about, but I think it would be closer to a layer 1 than a layer 2.
Got you. So it actually runs in parallel. So in time frame, that's how they're able to do the quick transaction on the side. And then it's kind of like a highway. We're on the same lane. Okay. But technically, the reason why I don't call it layer 1 is because you can't stake there. You have to go back to the main. So that's what we'll call it layer 0 maybe. But the only reason why I mentioned that is because I was running some numbers. The only way it would make sense, because I heard about their onboarding thing, is kind of like you onboard for cheap because they're coming up with some vendors, whatever, and kind of like on-ramp. Then you buy the hex, so you do whatever you need to do for lower fee, and then when you're done and you're ready to stake, then you move it to the main Ethereum, and then you stake there. So basically, what gives it value is actually the onboarding on ramp. That's the way I look at it. Because besides that, if it's just a fee, I promise you, it's not gonna last. The moment you get the 100x move, you're done. So if you're owning any of those or those other whatever side token, the moment you hear the upgrade, you better dump that shit.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, for sure. But for now, yes, all it's really good for is an on-ramp, a cheaper on-ramp, and you can swap and all that. But if people start encapsulating their smart contracts and they wrap their contracts up, and then they put it on Matic, or then they put it on, some kind of ZK version of ETH, you need something that can actually wrap contracts, because it's easy to go to layer to a separate network, but it's not as easy to wrap a full contract. There's so much computation being done that you want to make sure you do that right. But I think if you can get smart contracts over to Matic, that could be a legitimate, competitor.
Absolutely, because in business, there's something to understand. What's easy to replace one will be easy to replace later. Again, right? You know what I mean? Born by the sword, die by the sword. It's the same type of thing. You think it's like karma as a bitch in a way. So understand that if that's your only value proposition, you're easily going to be replaced and swapped. And Binance know what they're doing, because their goal is for you to come and move fast. We're going to wreck you with the over trading, because that's why they want to lower the barrier, because the average person doesn't understand that. It actually even the playing field. If the fee is too high for you, guess what? It's too hard for the fucking bots to wreck you also. The moment you lower the fee, they can overtrade you all day. And they're going to actually milk check you out faster, suck your liquidity out, because again, volume only helps the exchange, because that is their business. At the highest level of efficiency, that's what an exchange is. The fee for the exchange is zero. The bot just literally liquidity up and down. So when there's a little bit of fee, it's good to some degree, because they're real trades, not just like somebody trying to mess up with you. Now, of course, if they become too expensive, that's a different story. But understand that they serve a function. This is why we're so safe when we're Uniswap. That's why I can just buy and stake t-shirt, because I know that when the stronger hands are in total control, which we are getting again, the price will never go down. You got no hex. How you going to fucking dump? You can't do shit, right? So those things are easily understandable, that they serve their purpose, but understand that if they don't have any other core value proposition, I hate to say, but this is the perfect analogy. You use it like the public restroom, in and out. Do what you got to do, bounce. You were driving on the highway. You need to take a leak. It happens to be there. But this is not your bathroom, okay? This is public service, in and out, leave. And then the one good thing about the encapsulated stake on the other chain, the value there is like we can be on multiple chains at the same time. In sales, your number one enemy is obscurity, right? People don't know you, they can't transact with you. So not just necessarily going back and forth, but I think what Richard is trying to do, which makes sense, is being on so many chains, but everything reporting back to the base layer. So there are real stakes. That's
pretty fucking cool. I didn't even think about that. I thought he was going to make a single fucking. So what is the advantage? What does that look like in a world where Hex is on, Matic and fucking its own fork, and then it's on Polkadot?
Imagine this, right? And this is my perfect world, which is what I'm trying to do. But again, it's going to take time because I got no Hex. But again, hey, Richard can take the idea for once, or whoever has a lot of Hex that want to chime in. We're literally imagining we have grayscale type in multiple layers. So on the base layer, we do this is my goal. Massive stakes, 555, a billion hex each. Load that bitch up. Then we encapsulate that, we push that to another chain, and then people just buying T-shares, rotated into that. So the stake is solid, grayscale style. It's not emergency end stake. It's not moving. What you're trading is just a share, and what we're doing is we're paying in hex equivalent, because it's super easy. We just track the main contract. If you got 20 T-shares, and today we pay 6 hex per T-shares, you get your 20 times 6, and you're just in the system. And then when you do the in and out, you pay a fee. That's the convenience, because you didn't put up the money. We did, right? So you pay the in and out. But every time you re-enter at whatever the share rate is. So if you bought at 17,000 hex per T-share and you were riding it for 15 days, we pay you for the 15 days. You exit, you pay your fee. But then let's say you come back next week, you want to buy again. You buy that 20 T-share again. Let's say it happens to be available and nobody else purchased it, of course. Then you rebuy that, but you buy back at whatever the share rate is. So that way we don't run into a systemic risk where we can't pay the person, because again, the stake is locked, right? We have to have the thing over collateralized in hex so we can pay you as the interest rate comes in, right? So again, we replace all those motherfuckers. AVE, compound, whatever. The average, you be getting like low key in a month, 15, 18, 20% APR. Shit, nobody else in crypto has that shit. Nobody. And then the base layer is safe, because we had to create the big encapsulated stakes, which lock up hex. Doesn't matter if it's not on this layer, it's on the other layer. It's real hex that it mimics. So it's literally just a mirror of what's real. That's the difference between rehypothecation, when just people just trade shit out of thin air. Like, no, everything is in hex, and you have to go buy the hex first in order to buy the T-shirt. That's the key that ties everything together.
So it's kind of like how GBTC is like a fake representation of a Bitcoin. So then you would have this theoretically like a contract in the real world, or I don't know, whatever that means. Fucking of a piece of paper that says, hey, you have this many T-shares, and it guarantees you this much interest per day, because we've already got on the back end all this stuff is staked.
Exactly. And it's an easy motherfucking math. The system already does that. All you got to do is just port the data from go.hex.com. Everything is there. You literally take it. How much did we pay today? Boom. Because the system is the core. The system still has the penalty involved, emergency end state, all this other stuff. It's literally just mimicking the system elsewhere. This is how we teleport ourselves. We duplicate, and then people can stay in their network and literally as if they bought Hex. And let me go beyond that, because again, it's not that hard to go on Ethereum because we're already one of the best. But what it allows to do is we can fix the issue of the fee, because guess what? It's in that encapsulated zone when you go in. So you don't worry about too much over trading. You just there. There's no like, it's like Grayscale in a way where there's no crazy trading. You're in at 9:05 and then you're out at 10 p.m. No, it's like you're literally getting paid based on full days. And then your asset value as a short-term staker is you're getting a high APY that you would otherwise get by yourself, right? And then you get this product. You don't worry about trading fees. You don't worry about transaction fees. You're literally just buying the stake, and we pay you by the day, because the system has to show us that you deserve that 6 hex per t-shirt, right? If you only in for 5 days, full days, right? Then we only pay you for 5 days. If you're there for 10 days, then we pay for 10 days. So we still also sponsor that good behavior, like, you know, out there trading your life away and losing money. And we're fixing the fees situation at the same time.
Are you assuming that at that point you're going to have Hex wrapped and copied and deployed on like Binance Smart Chain and Matic and all this other Polkadot and stuff like that? Or
well, this could be one way when we're talking again encapsulated to be on other chain, or it could just be like another. The reason why we like it on other chain is anything that we can do like atomic swap. So we don't indirectly introduce like a potential middleman that can, you know, essential source of failure, because we don't want that either. You see, for example, StakerApp, perfect example. Yes, we're using the app and this and that, but guess what? You have the private key. You get what I'm saying? It's not like, hey, somebody can go. No, you have access to the safe. It's just kind of the front end that gives you access to the contract. So this is kind of an ideal scenario. Look at those other layers, just like front end. That just, hey, how much do you want? How much do you need? We handle all the thing in the back end. Don't worry about the fees. It mimics the system. You can go fact check the fucking thing. You can go check that the encapsulated stakes is real, that it exists, because you can go on layer 1, see the big stake, and you can see the stake accumulate Hex every day. And for the entity, the value is that they're building T-share for the long term, right? And they're providing the service, because technically they are the one taking most of the risk, because they have to come up with the money first.
so you're talking about a Grayscale type thing, right? Like a
Yes. Okay. The same way Grayscale, they take the money, right? Then they go buy the Bitcoin. They have their money. They buy a bunch of Bitcoin, just like they just did. They bought their own discount. Funny, 200 million. What a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they buy the Bitcoin with their money. Then they say, hey, look, we have this many Bitcoin. This is the price of Bitcoin. This is how much our company is worth. That's what micro-fucking strategy does. That's what the guy tweets about all the time. He wants to show the value of the company, because besides Bitcoin, their company is not that successful. The MicroStrategy thing. What makes it valuable is Bitcoin. That's why he talks about average price and all this other stuff, so people can see where the premium should be for the company. He's not just tweeting that because he likes Bitcoin. Fuck that. It's all about money. So if you say, hey, I have $5 billion worth of Bitcoin at current value, and you have X amount of shares, you do the math. That tells you what the price per share is. Make sense? So this is how they get to price where the GBCC stock should be, or MicroStrategy in this example.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was confused because like I think we switched topics, because first we were talking about putting it on every single chain, and I'm like, wait, what? But no, okay, I get it. Yeah. Wolf Worcester says, does buying T-shares and encapsulated stakes raise the T-share price? No, because the T-share price is always denominated in Hex. The only way you can buy a T-share is in Hex, right? So the T-share price in USD is always dictated off the Hex price in USD. It really should be priced in Hex. That's the only true way to price it.
Exactly.
That's when it's only going up.
It's always in Hex.
Yeah. And by the way, for anybody, that's the only way the community would tolerate. Any other way, we don't fucking want it. Go away. Because again, we can't endanger the system itself. So now the T-share, because of that, can become more valuable over time, because the Hex price goes up. The same way T-share used to be 50 cents. I wasn't even here. And now it's like 150 on his way to whatever. And I believe a T-share will be more valuable than Bitcoin. Again, you heard it again and again. I firmly believe it. In the next 15 years, it's going to be epic. So
crazy.
That costs.
Crazy, Karim.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love it. That's a good tweet. That's a good tweet right there. And we're going to update
some of those T-shares.
Right? It's going to be epic. So in that kind of function of a Grayscale, the incentive is also to not incentivize people to do too much in and out. Because let's say they buy again 20 T-share and then they use it for 10 days and then they don't have any emergency, they just want to exit for whatever reason, that's cool. We'll pay you. But when you re-enter, whatever the share rate price went up since those 20 days, that's what you're going to have to pay, which means you have to go buy more HEX to bring it. So that way we incentivize, hey, we're trying to help you get a higher yield, but let's not forget what the core function is. It's about staking and letting it fly. And the regular way still works. 90% of customers, so to speak, will still go the regular way. It's just I calculate roughly there's about 1 billion to 1.5 billion HEX that just keeps moving on rotation every 30 days or less.
Yeah, they're doing the passive income strategy or whatever. But
exactly. Well, guess what?
Every day it's getting more expensive every day, so they're gonna eventually shoot themselves in the foot.
Which they are. So imagine that Grayscale product is targeting those type of customers. Which is what they'll pay the fee, because the idea is that yes, you pay a fee, but we're still giving you a higher APY than what you would have done on your own doing those short stakes, which you are already doing. That's the key. Because if you're a long-term thinker, why pay the fee? Just stake your own shit. Use StakerApp, right? You got your own key done. So it's also to reassure certain people to understand we're talking about a very niche group of people who are going to do that anyway. Now imagine if we can increase that niche from people from other chain. That's when it gets valuable, because some people will be like, oh, yeah, I heard about the great API. Wait, what, 15 years? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Well, this is where we can create something that can potentially get those people in, but doing it in a way that positively affect the HEX price, because the system only takes HEX.
And that was kind of my initial gut reaction on the whole HEX encapsulated stakes thing, which was a whole emotional topic for a lot of people eventually anyway, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But yeah, the attention that it brings from the different category of people, right? Because not everyone in HEX has the same values and ideals, right? The right way to do it, in my opinion, stake long and big for as long as you can. I mean, that's the real way to do it. But some people don't care about that. They want to see if they can offload their 5555 stake after 7 years. And they're probably not even going to wait 7 years. They might try to wait 10 days. But guess what? If they try to wait 1 or 10 days, they're going to get a worse deal than they're going to lose money. So I'm trying to think of how you could game that system to be like, how could somebody fuck that up? So but if you have a whole bunch of people that are doing, max length stakes, and then they immediately try to go sell them to other people, no one's going to buy those, because you can stake on your own, right? And you have to buy the HEX anyway to make that stake. So you're going to push the price up you're going to push the price up, and you're going to have to, it's an expensive attack if you try to attack HEX by doing that. Because really, you're just buying all the HEX, so it's like, thank you, and it's like, oh,
and that's what the notion of the positive net 10%, and that's, again, like I told Maddie, I don't need to like it. I didn't come up with the idea, but that's a mathematical fact, and I cannot refute mathematical fact. Even if you're the best salesman on the planet Earth and you got 100% of the value, guess what? You only get 90%. And the stakers are getting paid. So let's say you're good.
The 10% fee makes it not profitable. And also one more thing.
Oh my God, you're such a good salesperson. You sold the stake for how many HEX? Man, shout out to you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you lost money, bro. Congrats. I'm really trying to think of a way that somebody could game the system and make this a bad thing. But all I see it as, like, first of all, it's on layer 1. No one's going to be using this for a little while, because it's not going to get mass adoption overnight. There's high fees. Yeah. And even the people that do use it, if you want to sell your stake for any significant type of money, you have to do the work of waiting the time. The time is the value, right? So you don't just flip stakes overnight.
But you see, what you just said is so important. And this is where our obligation as community leaders is to make sure we preach that. Here's the attack vector, because I already thought about it, which is very rare. But again, common sense is not so common. The attack vector is people not understanding how to do fair valuation calculation, fair value. So in other words, what Coffee just said is very important. Breaking news, if you never heard it, a 15-year stake, the first 3 years is basically worthless. Because again, you have to always look at it like, what's the counterparty risk? When I'm doing business and I'm a buyer and the guy's a seller, and I used to be on both sides, so I know, I always got to look at it like, what's my competition, right? When a seller of stake shows up and I'm the buyer's always in control, because you want my money at the end of the day. And if I know that if nobody else is buying and I might be interested to buy, and I know that your stake is X amount of length, and I know that if you emergency end stake, you're going to get whatever you're going to get, either anywhere from 0 to 5% or 10% of the value of the HEX, all I got to do is put a premium slightly more than the emergency end stake, which is my competitor, because that's the only other option. Make sense? So I make sure that I pay fair market value. I'm not going to scam now, meaning like I don't want to like, use all tactics and then make somebody sell it at a loss. But I want to make sure those people don't think like, oh yeah, I'm just going to trick the noobs and then dump it on their head, so to speak, in terms of valuation. Because again, it becomes a Russian roulette because every time there's a 10%. So if somebody buys something, let's say he sold it for 15 million hex, that's a crazy example, when the thing was only worth 10 million hex, because again, it's an auction, you choose the price, then that person is getting a bad deal. Yes, the community will get out 10% no matter what, net buy 10%. That's a fact. But that person now is getting a bad deal. Let's say we're moving into a bear market and then they do it, they're going to get wrecked because if they overbought something and then now they're trying to sell it, nobody wants to buy, and then they get desperate. They'll take whatever price. Now,
take whatever price. That was something that Cookie Boys tweeted that in a bear market, the seller will take the craziest, lowest price he can get because he just wants to get out. So in the bear market, that's when you had that scenario that you just talked about, which is I'm going to pay just above what you would do if you got totally nuked, just so that you know. Because I know I'm the buyer, I'm in control. In a bull market, it might be the opposite. You might be able to convince somebody, oh, look at all the future value, look at how much projected interest you're going to earn. And then dynamic switches, right? So it's who has the upper hand, but either at the same time, it's a separate market, right? It's a separate, you're buying and selling stakes that you had to buy the hex for in the first place. So I think of this thing as
this is our version of margin trading to some degree. And I want people to understand that it's slightly different, but I need to explain it like that so people can understand. So our job as a community is to continue to educate where fair market value is so people don't overpay a premium. I believe there is value into time, especially if you have an old t-shirt, let's say 2 years from now. Yes, that has accrued a premium. But guess what? Emergency end stake is a really good indicator to tell you where that premium is. So new buyer don't end up overpaying, but also we're going to be here in a bear market to educate people to not oversell it too low. Because that's the only thing I see. That is a systemic risk. Bad PR. And then people are going to say the same thing. We talk shit about, bad exchange or whatever. Oh, people are getting wrecked. But hey, the investors of the exchange, they're like, thank you for the money. You know what I mean? Okay. So we need to understand that, yes, we want the new people in, but we still need to educate that caution of education. If we do that, we're going to be good. If we don't, I'm telling you right now, everybody that's already in is going to be set for life. But then the new people are going to get wrecked. And then I don't like that kind of business because we're not creating win-win-win. We're creating win-lose situation. It's like the fucking McDonald's. It gets your money and get your shitty health.
And that's why I'm not going to promote it right away. I want to tell people the right way to do it. And if they really if they see the right way and they don't want it and they want to bail out of their stakes early, okay, we've got this other little thing for you over here. It's, it's fine. But I'd rather you do it the way I think is the right way. I mean, there's so much more gain, so much more potential to be had in just layer one staking and doing it the right way than trying to sell your stake and take the risk that you might lose a lot more than you gained because you didn't. I mean, because think about it, if you're the type of person that would sell a stake early anyway, you're probably the really type of impatient person. I don't think there's much in intermediate. You're either like a rat brain or you're a long-term thinker. And I don't know, maybe I'm polarizing that too much, but I've seen how people are when they're traders and they just want to get out when they want to get out.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think this is where the third product, potentially the grayscale version, is going to be the key. Because again, remember, I onboard people every day, about 15 a week. Like just yesterday, I did 4. So it's like I do speak to those people every day where there is people that they get it. They watch the live stream. They love the community. Everything is great. They do that. But they come to me and say, Karim, that's all I have. I want to do the 555. I understand the value, but I just can't do it right now because what if something happened? Like there's a legit concern. And it's only for about, I would say 10, maybe 20% of the stack. They have their 5555 stakes, but they have this other money that's sitting around that they're just afraid that what if something happens and I don't, because the first mistake that they did, yes, to some degree, is you have to separate your investment money from your paying your bill money. You should not, because that's where the tricky happen. And that's where you end up emergency end state. And this is where people don't understand. It's a different mindset. But let's say
that's part of my course too. That's the whole first section of my course is, if you're investing, this shouldn't be money that you need to put food on the table. So like first half is about mindset, right? If you're not ready to do this long term and stake for at least a year and out, you shouldn't even be in this. Don't even take this. Return it back to me. I'll give you your money back. Just stay away right now. Because investing is different than fucking trading and all that stuff. It's just, and you can only afford to invest if you have a roof over your head and you have that stability, right? I think a lot of people are betting that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it goes back to time frame. It sounds like you're nailing it immediately, because when people talk to me about crypto or stocks or whatever, first question out of my mouth, what's your time frame? What's your time horizon? When do you need it? And that affects everything, because it's like, oh, well, what's a good stock, or crypto, for the next year versus the next 15 years. Well,
and most of the time that's what they mean. They mean what's
exactly
what stock is good for
how
next
can
week?
I get in? How can I get out? And if they seem like that, then I think we spoke about this before. I don't want them in Hex. I don't think you do either. I think we said that in a past stream. It's like if you're looking for in and out, that's not what we're about. I mean, no disrespect to you, because if you want to trade or you need money quicker, there are other things out there to try to do that. A lot
of other things out there.
And I think ultimately that's what that grayscale type product will kind of solve. So we'll get the super patient, the regular way. We're talking t-shirt to our eyes bleeds, right? You guys know me. I've been starting this for months, and people are now finally getting it, which is great. We're going to have the short-term minded people. They're going to be gamblers anyway. Like Richard said, there's no fixing that. I mean, we tell some people not to trade on Uniswap too much Hex. They still do it, right? So
you're abstracting the trader class away from the staker class, and you're giving them their own little ballpark.
We're creating that gap. But what's amazing? Once we
you guys go play over there. We don't.
Yes. And when we put that line in the sand, we're going to be the one holding the ground. And funny enough, we're going to pump even faster, because sooner or later, the trader guy is going to realize as he gets wrecked that he should go to the other way. And then he's going to learn that discipline over time. And then for the people who have, again, I talk to those people every day, legit concern like Karim, I got my 555 stakes. It's this, it's that. But I have this money. I cannot afford to lock it just for emergency. Well, guess what? That grayscale type product is going to be great, because they keep the money on rotation anyways, because they have those 30-day bills.
Can we speculate on that one? Do you guys think Conrad Zen is involved in that? Or is he kind of doing his own thing totally separately?
I think his Kronos fund is a separate thing.
Is it?
He's definitely in it to some degree. I don't know if it's associated directly, but from what I've seen, that's one of his missions.
That guy's a mystery to me, man.
I haven't been keeping up with Conrad Zen, so I have no idea.
And again, what's amazing about those type of product ledgers, because I'm kind of working on something, but again, the reason why, again, Hex style, no expectation, only when it's finished. Like the only reason we focus on the HEXbay, because mathematically, if everything is done correctly and audited, that's the first thing that's going to show up anyway. All the other stuff, like act as if it may not even be here in 2021, like just this expectation in a way. So, but in an ideal way, one of the value of grayscale is they allow you to redeem once every 6 months. So imagine, I'm just speculating here for Conrad type of thing. It's a bunch of 555 stakes. People just raise money to the traditional route because you have access to those big funds. You know what I mean? Like whether you are in New York or UK, those are the big financial hubs. So money is being sucked in, and then they have the optionality to redeem it every 6 months. So they're getting kind of 555 type yield, but they have the optionality of like 6 months. And for big investors, 6 months is still relatively short to some degree. So that's my speculation, because that's what grayscale does. To the point where the premium went negative and it started to affect the price. Because
I can't imagine that shit is easy to set up. Yeah, but there's so much regulations. And Richard Hart just said, like, he used a very specific number. He was like, wouldn't it be great if somebody had $400,000 to start a
fund?
Why did you pick that number, huh?
Dude, once you realize in this world, as funny as it sounds and shallow, everything kind of has a price. Like places, oh my God, we can never make it there, man. We can't open this door. And then when you get the right amount of checks, man, it's so funny. It happened to be so much in my life. It was the funniest thing. Like, it's just like, first time I bought my car, right? Tesla, I go to the dealership, like I had my jacket on the Tesla. They thought I was working there. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody around me was like 55. So it's just like, what is this 27-year-old guys doing here? Yeah. Hey, can you help me out with my car and stuff? It was so funny. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just a customer. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then like everything's just changed. It's just the funniest thing. But once you realize,
I could have taken that car for a test drive and they wouldn't even know.
Right?
Oh yeah, he works for us. Go ahead.
Yeah. What kind of Tesla you have?
A Model S, fully loaded.
Very nice.
It's man, best car I ever drove, and I guess free charge for life, which is pretty cool. I got it right on time, custom built. So
that's definitely gonna be the first car I buy when I'm ready to cash out anything, which will be a couple years from now. But yeah.
And again, if you work hard and you have decent credit, there's good system where you put like you don't have to pay the full thing. You know what I mean? Just have a decent stream of income and stuff, and then you find, because the real value of the Tesla over any other vehicle, seriously. First of all, the insurance is cheap because it's a safer vehicle. You don't pay for Funny, I'll make you a commitment right now. I got 2 links left. If you hit me up fast enough, I'll give you one of my links. You'll get free supercharge for life. But you can only buy Model S or X. Anything below that, it doesn't work.
Sounds like it's good to have.
And
this is way off topic.
Like $30,000 value minimum. If you were just a convenient driver that do like 15, 20,000 miles over, let's say 10 years, life expectancy of the battery, even though again, I'm 3 years in, no problem, no headache. But yeah, that would be my hookup as a brother Hexagon for you. So
I'll reach out. I really will. That sounds dope. One thing I'm wondering though, also the Tesla Model S might be one of the only cars that will appreciate in value, because think about the new software upgrades it can get. This is off topic, but
totally cool. That's what happy hour is about, man. So go for it.
Yeah.
You watch way too much Friedman. I know where you got that from.
Oh no, I heard that from somebody else who probably heard it from Friedman.
Lex Friedman and Elon were on, and that's where he first brought it up. Elon was like, "Oh, maybe they'll appreciate value." He was talking about Lex.
I think I heard a Hexagon talk about that. They probably heard it from.
Never mind.
Yeah, I said that. I said that, and I even used that analogy with StakerApp too, because again, literally, I remember the first day I had it. Literally, the entire screen wasn't even on. The middle screen, it was crazy. Then he got turned on. Then, self-driving. He stays in his own lane. And then 3 months later, you can just flip a blinker, you switch lane by itself. I can't turned on. Multi-lane, you can see everything 360. I mean, it just constantly gets better. You know what I mean? And that's the meaningful things, not just like, okay, you got better sound system, GPS got updated a little bit. You see the extra charging station that keep popping up every 2 months. Or more. Now the charge just got faster. We're charging at 120 kilowatt now. But I mean, and now
dude, that thing's got a biohazard defense mode, bro. That's like fucking, who needs that shit?
If you buy that, So now imagine full tank charge in like 25 minutes. That's a big deal. I got a 300-mile range car. 25 minutes, 30 minutes. You get I remember the day when it used to take 2 hours. Rate of charge is getting better. Everything's getting better. More location. And it does appreciate in value. My car right now is worth more than what's left on it, because it cost me about like 125, and I only have about 20K left to pay it off, because I put like 70 grand down just to get it out of the way. But the equity value of the vehicle is like 70 grand plus. And I'm being conservative, but because also I had all the options. So when it started doing more things, that's the trick. Because when you don't get it, it becomes like a software, like an app. The self-driving package was like $6,000 back in the day. Now it costs 10 grand because it does more things. So if you kind of already purchased it, it's already built in. The same way people were, I want a smaller battery. But by the way, they were installing the big battery. They were just rate limiting you. And they're waiting for you to buy the upgrade. Then they, boom.
Oh, wow.
This is why, remember the big hurricane, and then they sent a big update, and then they just increased the range of all the 60 batteries just to help them out.
I don't remember that. That's wild.
Such a PR stunt. Elon is just a G.
Yeah.
And over time, which is smart, as the longevity, battery over time, just like a phone, it will just do less and less. They'll just increase the cap, so you won't feel the difference that your battery is. Me, I just peaked. That's just, shit. It's just like I gotta get to where I need to go. So you know what I mean. Yeah. But it's fun for sure.
Yeah, the boat coffee. What you were saying was it's kind of like software now, right? Because like most electric cars, they have very minimal mechanics, and with the software upgrades, you could have it self-driving. You could just enable that for everybody. That's what Karim was saying, and so that's what causes it to appreciate in value potentially. I mean, he was throwing that out as a hypothetical, but it's an interesting.
Because the key is the hardware. The key is the hardware. Why I waited 3 years also, I want to make sure I can fully afford it, put a lot of money down, but I was waiting for hardware too, the 7 camera instead of 3, because you can't do over-the-air update for that, right? The bigger battery, stuff like that. So you had to wait, and that's what I timed it perfectly, because I wanted to still get the free supercharge for life and get the hardware too, because there was kind of 2 incentives going on, and I perfectly timed it. I got both. Because the older version, so they don't feel like, oh my God, my car is worthless compared to the new one, because it holds its value for like 7 years straight before the new hardware came about, right? But their asset value is that you will always get free supercharge for life on the older model. So when you buy that, it transfers over to the new guy too. So that's why they kind of hanging around, besides the fact they look a little bit different. But me, I got both, because I got in just on time and I wanted the new hardware, because I knew self-driving would be a thing, and I wanted to have that. You know, you can still do that with the older model, but you just don't have the 360 view because you only have 3 cameras, the one in the front. So you can do the lane change and stuff like that, but you can't see like car behind you or to your side as well as the new one comes, because it's a hardware issue. That's
That's pretty sick, man. I'm gonna reach out for that link potentially, because you know these next couple of years are gonna be very life changing. I think. I don't know, but that might be useful.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? The price went down. We helped you guys out. Like my car now fully loaded is only about 100. Well, in the United States, I gotta preface this because you know we know about the taxes when you move something overseas. The same way we buy German car here, like it's insane. In Europe, they're buying it like 18K. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? So, but yeah, it's
one second. So hold on a second. Blue Bum actually just said something. He's asking about the L1 potential ETH fork that might happen. So we talked about this at the beginning for maybe the first 20 minutes, but you mentioned something that I want to ask you guys, because he said on the interview, he mentioned that Richard Hart mentioned that there would be 81 validators of a new chain. Have you guys heard anything about that? Do you remember? I don't remember that.
Well, he briefly mentioned it, kind of like forking and doing potential X, Y, and Z. But again, this is what I made the analogy of. Listen, whether it's 21 or 81 or as long as we potentially do our own thing, so to speak. But again, we'll have to wait until that plays out. But that's the ideal, what they call decentralization enough, right? Because
there is a decentralized enough. It's a spectrum. People act like it's a binary thing, but that's a very foolish argument to make. And that you have EOS, sure, that's 21. That might not be enough, right? But you got Binance Smart Chain, and they're all owned by Binance, so that might not be enough.
Exactly.
But you can go on Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud Platform, and now they have all these Ethereum integrated blockchain services. You could spin up your own blockchain, knowing almost nothing about it today. All that really it requires for a blockchain is like 3 nodes or 2 or 3 miners. Really, you only need 2 technically, because it's like, one confirms with the other, and they're like, okay, yeah, checks out. But obviously, you want much more. In a world where we have our own Hex blockchain, totally hypothetical. Do you guys think it'd be secured by miners, or would it be secured by stakers themselves? Or do you think that's not even going to happen?
No, I think staker is the way to go, because again, it's about aligning the incentive. This was, again, back in the day, what I like about EOS. And a quick note, yes, it's 21, but actually there's hundreds of validators. There's a competition. You get voted in or out. So if you drop the ball, boom, because there's also backup block producer and stuff. But the staking is key, because I call it having literally skin in the game. Because you need to hold the bag too. So if you fuck up, you fuck up your bag as well. Instead of just like, because that's what the miners are treating us. Like, hey, we just dump the price whenever we want, F2 pool, whatever. Hey, you guys are the suckers. We mine all this Bitcoin. We've been bagging it for so many years. We waited for the pump. Pump came, 58K or whatever. They just unload the clip. They were doing like 3,000 a day. So that to me is a better outcome. And then long term, it proposed that good mindset like in Hex of like, you're building your nest egg. This brings the value to the network. It's kind of your own personal savings account connected to the blockchain, and you only spend what you need. You lower your taxable event. Exchange are not scamming you out of your money, all this transaction, all this over trading. Like, that's what this is all about, guys. I can summarize this whole shit in 30 seconds. This whole NFT, this, that, they just want you to jump in and out of token. Like Richard said, because any transaction, they're making a fee. However low this fee sounds, it sounds stupid. But when you have billions of transactions floating around, shit.
And here's how bad they poisoned your mind so much to make you think that volume is a good thing. Like, volume is good. Oh, really? Good. Yeah, it's good for who, right? Good for who? Like I don't know about that coin. There's not enough volume. It's like, there's not enough. That means there's not enough sellers. Volume is sellers and buyers, right? And when the volume bar is red, price goes down. Okay, like what don't you understand about that? Like, I don't know. People have all these false beliefs.
When the bond market just moved 10 basis fucking point, that's a big deal. The biggest market on the planet, hundreds of trillions of dollars. So when the DXY was doing its thing and started to puke back up, you got to worry about that stuff, because the whole thing can collapse. If we go above 2% on a 10-year yield, guys, it's over. Pack your bags. Let's go. Let's go. It's just like
dude. Negative rates, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, exactly. It's going there.
That's
and
insane.
This is the joke. The European and the rest of the world, they're buying it because they're over there negative. You give them 1%, they're going to be like, 1%.
It's so crazy, man.
And they print for free, and then they get 1%.
The boomer markets, dude. Yeah, people are going to do anything for people are putting in massive amounts into CDs that give you 1.5% that gets wrecked by inflation anyway. So if you don't think Hex is product market fit, I mean, look around you. What what product do you want to be in?
Exactly.
Pick the fastest appreciating asset of all time. I mean, it's pretty simple. But yeah, going back to the proof of stake thing, I guess I kind of agree. Proof of stake is the way to go. It's you get all the environmental people off your back because it's more environmentally friendly.
Yep.
And then I mean,
and it's more
kind
inclusive too. It's more
everybody exactly.
You come in and with this $10, whatever, he's staked, he's in. You get that inclusion, and then the network effect comes in. Instead of I need 32 ETH or I need to learn how to run a node and this and that. That create barriers of entry, which is basically what the miners love to do when they do the economy of scale. Their goal is to create that barrier of entry. They want to raise the hash rate because they know you're about to drop out because they know how this game is played.
Yeah. Proof of stake is just better. I mean, I think there's a reason that Vitalik is into it, and all the people that are actually doing research. Obviously, the Bitcoin maximalists are going to hang on to proof of work because that's the only thing they have. But it really does destroy the environment. It uses more electricity than the entire country of like Ecuador or something like that. I mean, we need to do that. It's valuable work, but
because you know what, Coffee is funny. It goes back to this philosophical ethics at the end of the day. HEXclip, this is for you. People confuse what fairness actually is about because that's what it comes out to. We want fairness. People confuse fairness by saying fairness is equality of outcome.
Equality of outcome. Yeah.
And
equality of opportunity. Yeah.
Exactly. It's equality of opportunity. So you get a ticket to the dance. That doesn't mean you get to be the top dog or win the dance. So what I like about proof of stake over proof of work, again, nothing is perfect because guess what? The guy with the big money will buy a bigger stake, period. But at least the little guy has a say proportional to the amount of money that he's willing to put in. And then the skill becomes how do you manage, how do you invest? Like perfect example in Hex, the little guy was able to get in, stack a lot of price started very low. Now where the little guy, so to speak, became part of the big guy, but now he has to think, how do I manage that stake? Because if I waste my economic advantage in the pool, you do this once, you get your little payday. But when this thing, again, no expectation, potentially, hypothetically, do another 100x to 1,000x, and you drop out of your position, you will basically almost never come back, never.
And we've seen that happen. When you see Silver the Antidote's video, we've seen people drop out all the time. We'll see if this new guy in 3 days is going to be, continue to hold his position up, or if he's over it. And that's all he can do. He could 2 days, really.
Especially when you were lucky enough.
Well, technically, the rollover. Yeah.
Yep. Especially when you were fortunate enough to have the right timing, your stash became amazing, and you're not, let's say, making crazy amount of money every day or every month that you can add to it. The management of that position is really going to determine where your wealth's going to be in the future. And that, to me, is a slightly fair game instead of like, hey, proof of work. Let's say you were competing in the beginning. You knew about mining. You were early enough. You got your 10 computer. And then the big guy comes in with their warehouse and say, see you later. You don't even have a say. They're just like, okay, hash rate dominance. And then you get boxed out. You know what I mean? With proof of stake, you got to say still. So that's what, again, it's an equality of opportunity to me, and is the more fairest system between the two. And it keeps everybody accountable because you own the stake too. The bigger you come in, well, guess what? You can't fuck up too because you're going to lose more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect transition for that stake coming out soon. That's going to be funny because we're all worried about, dude, they have 555 stakes. They're the biggest holder in Hex. They're not going to destroy their own baby. That makes no sense. So again, this is what I like.
We can talk about that big stake in a little bit. For a little FOMO, Hexo FOMO, he said, what would happen if Hex blockchain, I guess he's already naming it, was about to be released and everyone that is staked was able to get an airdrop of the coins? Let's also say it was a scheduled snapshot on the T-share rate that you had at the snapshot.
Woo! Don't tell me this, man.
How much would people FOMO into Hex looking for that drop?
Man, that would be a huge hype event, dude. That would be like almost better than a new big payday because
exactly.
You wouldn't have the sell pressure either. Well, you would, I guess, but you would have to have people buying it up in order to get the T-shares, right? So even if they get an airdrop, which people dump right away, we know they dump right away, they wouldn't be able to sell the staked Hex that they staked because otherwise they would get wrecked.
Yeah, but when they say airdrop system stake, okay, technically, again, my past experience, with EOS, whatever, the old blockchain got stopped. So I don't think because I think he's implying that you're getting 2 coins. Like, no, you wouldn't be able to get 2 because, my experience was they stopped the old one and you only got the new one. So technically, there's only one.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work from a technical perspective.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea, man. Like I wish I could speak more like an expert on that, but I fucking just don't know.
Somebody stop Karim. Bro, just stop, man. That's awesome. No, but I think right now,
no pants that happened.
Yeah, I would totally
it's
shit
funny.
my pants.
Literally, I am waiting for a big stick right now because I like it at 2 mil. So that's why I'm just like I added some to the position today, and then. But if this is gonna happen, I'm just gonna stake the thing right now because hey, price went up, so it costs more money now.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll be totally honest with you guys. I'll be totally honest. I have a limit order on matcha.xyz. I got 2 Ethereum way down low on Hex at about 50% off in case this Mr. Whale guy decides he doesn't want to play with Hex anymore. So I could pick up a casual, $1.5 million, $1.3 million Hex.
There you go.
If this happens, right? So everybody, if you want to do limit orders, it doesn't cost you anything at all. Matcha.xyz. That's where you go.
Yeah, there
That's
have
where the
been.
price can just go. You know what I mean? That's why I stopped playing that game. So one low and it just leaves you behind. So I got myself already, like you said, I got it already like about a 1.2, 1.3. And then I'm just on one of my account and I'm just waiting to get it to 2 mil and I send it to the dream account. Forget about it. that's my strategy. Simple, repetitive. Doesn't matter what the price is.
Hey, and with low liquidity, anything is possible right now.
Fuck
So,
yeah. You can get wicked
I
down
was
hard.
well, it's a no-brainer.
I think somebody said if you 3,400 hexagons put their stimulus checks into Hex,
Yeah.
would fix the price or something. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean,
One time
we
I
could all
did.
make a.
And roughly, and then
We could all go in the Hex Pro chatting, just organize a bunch of people to do that, and it would happen.
Yeah.
If everybody did that, but then nobody wants to do the slippage against himself, right? So
exactly.
yeah,
Tragedy of the commons.
the good tragedy of the commons, I guess.
I fixed that real quick. Like I was telling you all about the fee and whatever. Listen, think bigger. Again, massive abundance. Create network effect. Trust me, if we do this and the price do again, if statement, 10 to 100x, nobody, I bet my hands, man, nobody's going to get up like, man, let me complain about this 100x move that just happened on my stash here. Let's give them money. No, it will just be like epic. And it's just, we're accelerating something that is going to happen. I firmly believe, but again, that's just my opinion.
So you guys aren't going to buy NFTs then? You're not going to buy NFTs with your stimmy checks?
No, hell
no.
Have you seen the latest Beeple, bro? Have you seen the latest Beeple?
I know it's dude. Imagine just for
69 million.
I can create a some people will buy it. Like but it's crazy. But they don't understand it's cash grab. Celebrities been struggling, COVID. Some of them, no offense, lost their relevance. They're like, wait a minute. You tell me I can just do this fake thing or take a picture of me or make a whatever.
That's not nice to say about Lindsay Lohan, bro.
Right? And then be like, hey, I can just make $1 million real quick. Fuck yeah. I mean, which dumb celebrity wouldn't want to do it, right? Unless you lose, you have a conscience.
You see all these guys getting into it. Logan Paul, fucking who else? I mean,
Mike Cuban got in. Gary
Cuban. Gary Vaynerchuk is out there promoting it. Like, I think he's doing a really bad thing right now. It's very irresponsible. He's going to get a lot of people killed.
Right.
Yeah.
And the sad part isn't even that, because again, making money is not a big deal. You're a hustler, I get it. The sad part is a lot of those people never was here during the bear market because we know how the movie ends. You see, if it was all lollipop and candy, listen, I've never been a hater. Anybody that knows me or like, hey, oh, you got this car, dude, good for you, man. I'm gonna get my own too, whatever. But when you know what comes next, and then you can easily have no accountability and act like, oh, I didn't know, and this and that. You took your money, you cashed in because you're paying for the garbage, but they're cashing in the money. Yep. The same way, even when we talk about, we're going to incorporate Doge and this and that for the much. No, he doesn't care about Dogecoin. He cares about your fucking money. He's going to.
A lot of people are going to get really rich, but the question is, how many of those people are going to keep and hold on to their wealth, right? Because that was me in 2017. I made a lot and I lost just as much. And I wasn't on camera back then because I was a fucking broke pleb and I was a very sad boy. And now I get on here, I feel like I know what I'm talking about, so I can actually give you guys this advice. Don't be tricked by this. This is really shiny object syndrome at its peak right now. I mean, $69 million for a fucking, I don't even know what it was. Was it like a screenshot of every screenshot? Or what was it?
Yeah, it was like a collage made of different photos just like put together.
So it was like every NFT in one NFT or something?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not saying the thing is worthless. I'm just saying it does. Nobody can convince me the justification of the valuation, period. I'm going to just leave it at that. It's not zero, but it's not 69 million. any
Well, it's
day.
like, what will somebody pay for that in the bear market? That's going to be the test. And it's like,
Ooh, tell me about it. Yeah.
that's not going to be 70 million. I
Fuck
mean,
yeah.
that's the test right there, and that's what's scary to think about. But people don't think about that right now because times are
But
good.
you also know what's sketchy that nobody is seeing. There's also an angle, it's a little bit dark, but it exists. People forget what art was also used for a lot, especially in, I've seen that in my culture. I've seen that in Asian culture and European culture too. This is one of the perfect hidden little money laundering trick. Hey, you want to dodge the tax? Hey, you owe me money? Okay, just
Money
I'm gonna
laundering.
make NFT. Let me buy. You buy from me. I send you the ETH
Yep.
because people don't understand it's a fucking transaction. So that's why I don't get so caught up with the NFT. When I see shit like that, million, it makes no fucking sense to me. But this, which is
money
the
laundering.
guy that's paying, he's transferring the money to the other dude. You don't know what the back cut's going on because they're cashing out the money, and that could be just this is how they run scams. Hey, I'm gonna put $1 million, kind of like an auction. He's gonna put 5, he's gonna put 10. By the time it comes to you for the 60, we're gonna get another sucker to come in. He buys that, and then we just split the money. Like again, I hate to to me those things are so obvious because it doesn't make sense otherwise to justify those level of valuation because they're getting the ether and they're getting whatever the thing is priced off, and you don't know what they do next. And the little guy that comes the sucker at the end literally gets called in the bag, lose all his money, or it's a perfect way to just make a transaction without, certain authority not knowing. Because hey, at the end of the day, $60 million moved. That's what people need to remember.
A lot of people too, a lot of the very, very super rich of the world, this might be a little conspiracy theorist, but the trillionaires that you don't hear about, they have a lot of art because they don't need to report that as their owners. Yeah.
Same thing with cars too. People don't understand. You know why people buy Ferraris and why they're so expensive? Shit, it has nothing to do with the vehicle. Tesla is better, faster, no offense. It's simply exactly for that. Because hey, you get all the benefits. You get to look cool, even though you may not even know how to drive. You get all the girls and the whatever. And because they're limited edition, that's one thing Ferrari does very well. They understand scarcity. They understand limited supply, right? Almost deflationary to some extent. You don't talk about like Ferrari 2012, 2015. It's just like they tell you the big number total ever made. So you get that scarcity going on, the name brand, so it holds its value. And a lot of those people, they barely drive the car. It literally just sits there, and then they wait about 5 years. The price do a 2x, 3x. And if they want to sell it, they sell. If they don't want to sell it, they're not holding fiat. So it's literally used like kind of like precious metal or art. Mm-hmm. But every now and then you get to drive it a little bit down the street. You're not going to put a lot of miles on it. You're going to still put the cover on top. But it's literally, you get all the benefit to look cool. But at the end of the day, you are an investor. People don't understand that. To depreciate assets, but they drive maybe like 150 miles a year, if that. I mean, so it's just like same thing.
That's right. Let's see what the chat's got for us. Oh, Spike says he disagrees. Yeah, we're not saying all art is money laundering. I'm sorry about that. There's very legit art out there. A lot of art is very cool. I know a lot of artists. I've got some friends that do art.
Again, we're not talking about the exceptions, and you're great. Not everybody's out there scamming, but again, the greater cause, 60 million, something like that. If you knew what really it took to get that, you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I got 60 million because
It is. I do agree with the basic principle that you're empowering the artist and all that stuff, but you need to find a price floor before any of this shit ever has any traction. That's going to take, who knows, maybe a decade before we see that, maybe 5 years, but it's not.
Because
it's not this year.
Comes and people get wrecked, you go talk to those people and explain what happened. Where did the money go? That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. All right, gents. Well, there's plenty still to go, so I don't know how long you guys are willing to hang around.
It's Friday night,
All right, man. All right. Well,
it's only 6 p.m. here. My event doesn't start until later this evening, so I'm good.
Like a club event?
Nah.
How late in the evening you going, man?
Yeah, that's good. No, I still dude. I'm not in Miami no more. You know what I mean? I went back to reality. Back to Boston. So it's. Well, I mean, they're starting to reopen. The restaurants are open until late now.
What city are you in, Karim? If you don't mind saying.
I'm in Boston.
Oh, Boston.
So because we have great seafood here too, right by the pier and everything. It's really gorgeous, and we're back to 60 degrees now, which is awesome. This is our mini summer, because it gets as low as 20 and stuff. So it's like we're hitting our stride. They're talking about, because some of my friends, they own restaurants and stuff. Apparently, next month, they're going to potentially do full opening. Because what's amazing about Boston is like the very advanced biotechnology and stuff like that. Dude, they've been rolling out vaccine. I mean, not that I care. I'm not pro or against vaccine, whatever. But they've been rolling that out. A lot of the service workers, everything is cool. You can literally just go and get your vaccine. It's super easy. So they're trying to relaunch the opening. And that tells me that, that means it's coming soon, which means the Fed may start crashing the market because, again, the justification of the money printing was everything is closed. See, you gotta be a contrarian. When they're gonna tell everything is open, they're gonna let the shoe fall where it needs to fall, and then people are gonna feel, "Oh my God, reopening, everything is great."
And the interest rates are gonna quietly go up with that.
Exactly.
Talk about
they're gonna do.
But no, I'm feeling the same way because it's the same thing in Chicago. It's 60-degree days, and for us that summer, we're out in shorts and t-shirts.
Exactly.
And
like this week
the restaurants are
next
open.
Week.
Yeah, I'm feeling excited, man. I'm ready to go back out.
The heavy jacket. It's like, oh man, I'm starting to sweat over here. What's going on?
Careful, man. We had like blizzards in like mid to late March too, so it can change just like that. So
this is the fake out summer, and then there's always like a secondary winter, and then it's real summer.
So watch this, right? This is my conspiracy of the day so far, bringing everything together. And I'll say some of it on stream, right? Now the Binance thing is just the cherry on top. Number one exchange in volume. Number one for the freaking future trading and whatever, going after them. If this thing becomes more than just FUD, that's going to spook the market, potentially create a heavy sideways in Bitcoin because, if Binance go down, Bitcoin price will go down. Everybody knows that. That's a fact. So, and then if the parabola gets broken and people start to think, oh, well, maybe this is the correction, then next thing you know, everything changed. And this weekend is going to be key because you guys know weekend is low volume. So we're going to see, is this thing either pumps or decide to go the other way. And then you're going to see all the other playouts coming in. And yes, Ethereum is talking about upgrading. That's great. But again, they say June, possibly July. And we know with Ethereum, when they give deadlines, right, that can mean September. So again, when you add all that expectation, that doesn't mean you can't have a mini correction first. Not a crash, but a mini little like chill out. And then we do the next wave.
And you got two things, right? So we're coming off a bounce already, right? And then you got two things: so stimulus checks and Coinbase IPO, and that's gonna, I think, drive us through the next few months up until optimism rolls out. Even if it does get delayed by a month or two, that's gonna be the next fuel. Which is why I think this next whatever you want to call it, run up or mini pump, it's gonna be the final leg, but it's gonna last the longest too. It's gonna be the big one.
Grayscale is acting like they are going to get ETF approval. So
yes, that's another thing that scares me, right? Because I watched that to say, Karim, well, where can you be wrong? Because I always, not second guess myself, but always counter my thesis, right? And it scares me because I keep looking at this stupid premium on crypto quant, and it's not going back up. It's not, to the point where Grayscale had to shut it down. Dude, it went down as low as negative 18%. Negative 18. Guys, what that means is people were buying $39,000 Bitcoin. That makes no fucking sense. If I'm a big investor and I understand how this goes, because they're always chasing the premium, it's a no-brainer. If I bought Grayscale 6 months ago, guess what? That means I'm eligible to dump it right now, whatever the price is. So I get it. I dump it at 57K and I buy it back at 39. It's a no fucking brainer. It's the easiest arbitration you will ever fucking do, to the point where Grayscale had to shut down the fund. And you know what they did? They didn't shut down the fund. They just make it closed for investor, and they went to buy them themselves for $200 fucking million. So that tells me that it works well for them when the premium is high because they always sell at a higher price, And even Ethereum that I love, it's not as bad as Bitcoin, but it's still negative 2%. So until I don't see this premium coming back up, plus Canada is buying and all this other buying, and like Richard said, Microsolar, big money. Yeah, now it's only buying, no offense, 50 million, still 50 million, but it's not the 600 million we used to have. It's not the 1.2 billion.
Well, you can't buy that sub 20,000 Bitcoin anymore either. So
exactly. Hey, funny joke. When I got into Hex, I came in with 6 figures. I pushed the price up. Now it's like 10 grand here, 8 grand there. You know what I mean? So it's not, you get the analogy. It's not the same powder that it used to be, and the price went up too. So people need to understand Elon is all great, but as the price goes up, who cares about Elon? You need fucking like Mass Mutual. Like you need insurance. Insurance companies are the best investors. They never fucking sell. They just want your fucking asset. We need more Mass Mutual. We need the pension funds to come in. That's how we get to 100K. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but my logical brain is telling me those 15 million, 20 million guys, they're not going to cut it for too long. We need the heavyweight. We need the heavyweight.
So here's one. So personally, I thought, and dare I, say Richard might be wrong on something because he's been right on so many things, but I thought he was a little too bearish on Bitcoin for end of the year at, what was it, like 30 few thousand, something like that. So just like around the room, this cycle or end of year, where can you see Bitcoin price? Because I really do think we can reach 6 figures this cycle before we go down. Who knows how far we go down? But end of year, I thought that was a little overly bearish, especially with the type of money that's coming in. It's not retail right now. I mean, institutions and bigger players have figured it out, and we're not going to know about a lot of those until they've already got their bags filled. So I was just
funny joke. I'm going to send you some pictures on Telegram. I don't know if you can project that on the screen. That'll be epic. There's a really, really good trader / chartist that I follow that actually has some really, really good charts related to Bitcoin and cycles. I want you to try to see if you can pull it on screen. And funny enough, it actually might back up the thesis that Richard is talking about, because the key one, what he said end of the year, meaning we can go touch a high and then kind of like drift down below to the stuff. And I found something from a guy that I actually trust, and he actually back up his thesis about how we can go flirt with 70, 80K and then drift down bear market style, kind of how we did in 2017, back to 30K after we retraced to like 45 and then trapdoor down, kind of like the whole BSV fiasco or whatever. So let me see if you can see it. It's a very powerful chart. I was like, yo, I love fractals. So when I saw that, I was like, because he's literally mimicking what Bitcoin used to do. And more importantly, what are the cycles between cycle 1, 2, and 3? And then he shows how those things kind of like repeat themselves.
So he's not thinking that it's going to be a lengthening cycle then, because my assumption was always cycles are getting longer. If they get longer, then that puts the top at 75,000 on October 2022. So is he saying it's going to be shorter now? Like, why?
Yeah, I'll break it down. It's so good. And then those are moving targets. Cabana, let me know if you can potentially put it on screen for us. Can you?
I'm working on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, nice. I just sent it to you on Telegram.
No, I'm working on getting it on screen. So yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So the first one that he talks about on the chart, which is really cool, it shows the band that Bitcoin's been between the support and the resistance of all the kind of like the tops of all the cycles. Because remember, at the end of the day, all of those equations, they're all log functions. So they'll always do kind of like what square root function does, right? The little kind of like V-shape-ish like this. And then what he shows is that the band of the power move are getting smaller over time, which makes sense, which is also why the dumps are getting smaller over time as well. So kind of how first couple of cycles, Bitcoin was doing thousands and thousands. Oh, perfect. Dude, you're the best. You're the fucking best. So first chart is this. When I see this, that's first red signal. So again, this is the computation from the math and it perfectly tracks all the bottoms, by the way, to know when it's undervalued, overvalued. Because remember, I'm a value investor, long-term investor. So now the cool thing about those bands, and especially the rubber band, it actually is a moving target every day and it trend upwards. So what it is now is perfectly about 61K, which if you do the Fibonacci extension from the bottom of $3,000 that we had in a COVID dump, all the way to the Fibonacci extension, it literally gives you that 61,000 and change, which should have been what the top should be. And we're getting very, very close to that. Now, as we get close to that and staying, those targets move upwards too. So if it does like it did the previous cycle and go touch the top of the band, the red band, it's actually $80,000. So that's the first kind of warning to say, hey, we're very, very close, because people forget about how much we already pumped. The same way previous bull market, Bitcoin did like 20 some X, and previous to that, I did like another 50 some X. So because of how the shape of the graph is, the next cycle has to be close, but definitely lower than the previous one, because again, it follows the function and because it needs more economic mass to push it up. Now, what the assumption that the guy was making in that video, because I watched the whole video, is that potentially it's going to do like cycle 2 did, because the chart looks like that. It's going to touch it, kiss it, chill a little bit. As it chills down, the red band goes higher every day. And then 6 months from now, it's going to go touch it again before creating the actual bear market and then go back to the green line.
But the only thing with that is that in the second cycle, it never touched it that first time.
It got close to it because again, the band is moving. That's the trick, Coffee. At the time, years ago, it was like we're seeing right now. It's just that as it corrected down, the band is forever moving. It's a moving target. It's a progression.
Oh, okay. So at the time, okay.
Yes, because red right now start at 61K. 6 months from now, red can start at 80K. It kind of goes back to the glass node when Bitcoin kind of overheats. When you see also a lot of like, we're in the bullish zone, 90 plus RSI, all this other stuff. It tracks that. So that's the first indicator to be like, okay, wait a minute. There's something going on over here. We're way away from the medium. Now, when you go to picture number 2, please, the one that's like the band, that one is really cool. The third picture that I sent you, the one with the rainbow band.
You want the third one?
Yeah, the third one, please. Because the second one is going to be the amazing one, the last one.
All right, hold up. But yeah, go ahead and talk a little bit.
Yeah. And this guy, he has a YouTube channel. His name is Ben. It's really good, dude. His analysis, because I'm a numbers guy, it's on point. And there's another guy called Steve. He does those things. Because again, they look at the facts in the chart. They don't look at narrative or anything like that. So in the second one, the one that shows the band that Cabana is going to pull up, it really, really show the diminishing rate of return that Bitcoin does over time. Which in simple English means the first couple run, it goes up thousands of X, thousands. But then every next further top, the band is getting to a lesser, darker color to a bluer color. So I wish we can zoom in because it's my phone. But if you zoom in, the first band, first bull went to touch that red and then dark brown. Now they'll just be like that. Yeah. So let's just say the first bull run touch the top of the band. Then the second brewer never got to the same height as the top. He only stopped at purple. And then you can see the third only went to yellow. And then mathematically, again, as a function, logarithmic, the amplitude gets smaller over time. So technically speaking, looking at this signal, again, fractal, taking away the emotions, we're at a critical juncture right now. Because based on previous cycle, Bitcoin never reached the same level band than it did the previous cycle. So it wouldn't be surprising if this were the top, chill down. Remember, the bands are moving. And the next time you go revisit that, it will be in the 6 figures. Because
do you think NFT bubble pops and that's the mini bear market and then it repumps?
Exactly. And here's the perfect example. When you look at top number 2 and top number 3, top number 2 has a higher purple color, right? But everybody remember that was the $1,200 top. And then when he went to visit it 2 years later, almost 3 years, he did a lower band, but that's the 20K top. Make sense? This is my definition of the band is a moving target. The same way right now, we're basically around the 60K top. If we retrace a little bit, do like kind of cycle 2 did, and revisit again, by the time we get close to that band is going to be in the 6 figures.
So we're not really going to see that band get much higher than maybe the green zone.
Yes, which is
at the time in 2022, that green zone will be higher, but it will still not leave the green.
Exactly. The same way cycle 2 and cycle 3 is on a lower band, but cycle 2, the top was $1,200, cycle 3 is 20K. That's the perfect definition of the band progression.
Wow. That's really cool. What's the date of this? What's the date of this chart? Is this old? Is this chart like a few days or months old? I can't really tell.
No, the year at the bottom is right about now. Yeah,
right now. It's 2021. Okay. So technically, we're at that mini top. We're about to, if we're lucky, we get one more band, but we can't get to the next one because the next one is the previous top of the band of the previous cycle. So that again, red flag. Just take it for what it is.
Think about this. First time it goes down 3 bands. Next time it goes down 2 bands. This time it goes down 1 band. Right. So it's pretty simple math. Like if it follows a trend, and we're obviously making this up, but yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yep. And it's a reasonable assumption because of previous cycle. The same way people, you see, that's the thing. People can't have a double standard, only use what matters to them. When they use the previous cycle, say, oh, this is what Bitcoin did, so it's most likely going to do that. Well, guess what? Using that same thought process, and I'm looking at this band, and I look at, again, I got four tops here, and every single time, you never got to the same band that it did in the previous cycle. That's all I need to know. I don't need to worry about, is this 60K top, 65, 70, because that band, even the next one, the brown one, is still not the yellow band. So we can technically go there, and that's like $70,000, $75,000 Bitcoin. But understand that we're close. And at any time, this baby can decide to go chill back into the blue zone. Because at every cycle, it goes back, like the last two, it goes back to the blue zone, which is a reaccumulation phase. And 6 months from now,
what's that new floor going to be then? Like, let's talk about the new price floor. Maybe like 40.
Where I confirmed Richard, because the guy did a linear progression during the live stream, and he showed how 6 months to a year from now, 2022, that blue band will enter 30,000. So Richard is actually fucking right. So if he goes and he kissed that thing and go back down, it will be in that zone. Because remember, it's a log function. In the beginning, it's very high, but over time, it arcs slower and slower. But also the bottoms are higher and higher. Because just like a square root function, it never goes below the same. It always forever increase, but at a forever rapidly increment. Which makes sense because as Bitcoin goes up more in value, it takes more economic mass to move it, but also it takes more economic mass to push it down. So we're getting to a point where this is where I look at and say, yeah, crypto is here to stay. We're going to be stable. Because for Hex to fucking explode, we just need Bitcoin not to crash. And to me, even if it goes to 30K, that's not a crash. We can crash to 30K right now and still be in a bull market. Because people need to zoom out and see how much we have already pumped from the bottom. People forget that. They keep telling you, oh, yeah, it's just the beginning. Yeah, we took 12x already since last year. It's just the beginning. We're gonna So just take that with a grain of salt. And then it brings you to my third chart, my favorite one. This is just straight up math. This is where it gets really, really cool. This is the fractal of all the fractal. That guy literally showed me with fractal why he believed what I believe, which is Bitcoin is, to me, is mimicking cycle 2. So it's mini top chill out and then explosion later on this year.
That's the real open question. That's the real thing that everybody should be wondering. Because
and that third chart is just so fucking money. Now, this is exactly what we just saw. The red band, remember that first graph? Literally descending triangle of all the tops. And then the green is literally that reaccumulation zone. Does anybody follow me so far? If you remember picture 1.
Yeah. I see what you mean now. Yeah. So we've got a while to go still.
Yeah. Now, this is epic because it tracks what Wells loves to do, which I love as well, which is what we call the return streams, right? First cycle, Bitcoin went up 2,000%. Second cycle, it went up about 1,200%. Third cycle, the second level was like,
exactly. That's what I did in one of my previous videos. When I tried to call the top, I was trying to recognize the trend. And obviously there's decreasing amplitude per cycle and lengthening time per cycle. So you try to find a trend. And if we say it's constant, it seems to be that every diminishing dip in increase in amplitude is about 80% of the previous one. And so we went from 2,000 to what? 20K? I don't know.
1,200. And
1,200. And now it's proportionally, it's down to... I don't know what that is.
Epic, right? The guy just charted. So it's just a line. Just like all you traders out there, you like look at lines, then you know. wait. If you forget the dumbass fear and greed index bullshit, just look at this. This is math.
So let's say we tap the line at 800%, right? That's an 8x. 8x from the low is 8x. Well, 8x from the breakout. So 8x from the 20,000 would be 160,000. So maybe we hit 160,000 ish. Maybe.
Exactly. But what it will do, which is what I love about the other points, the red, blue, yellow, whatever, for all you traders out there, this is what those fractal about, the waves, right? 5 wave of consolidation, which funny enough, Hex just finished his. We're ready to go. I'm just going to plug that real quick. We've been doing our dancing W already. We're ready to go. But as you can see, it's literally mimicking the formation of cycle number 2. Went back to retest the green zone hard, popped out, went back down, popped out a little bit, COVID dip, which is that purple thing, and then now it's getting out violently. Now, here's the funny joke. We're at the very, very close level of what cycle 3 was. But based on his estimation and mine as well, because of the fractal pattern and the way I see him getting up so fast, I think it's mimicking cycle 2 more than it's mimicking cycle 3, which means, ding, 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 good news. We still have a little bit of leg to go. But remember, when he went to touch that little yellow thing, it was a retracement that was sharp. From 600% ROI, it went all the way down to 200. That means that's a 66% dip. So be ready for that, which could be we go to 65, 70K, whatever, round it up, and then we just dip all the way back to 40K or 30K, like Richard said. And remember, this is it looks like it's small, but those are years that you're seeing. Double years every big bar. So that means
if it dips back to 50% up out of the green zone, that would be 30K, 50% up out of 20K. So yeah, I mean, this is giving me a lot more kind of confidence and clarity on when, because I've been wondering this question a lot, because I've still got some Bitcoin. I want to know how to play the market. I might try to sell at the mini, local top, to play my cards, maybe do half and half, maybe hold some and sell some, just in case I'm wrong and it keeps pumping. I'd love to be wrong, but yeah, then I can hold it, buy it back at 30K, and then ride it all the way to 160 or whatever.
But you see data like that. I fucking love it. Right? There's no fucking politics. Don't give me the sales story. I mean, sales. Don't bullshit me. Give me the fucking data. That's it. And like they said, the past, rhymes, whatever. But when you see that, then you prepare yourself accordingly. Because when I have that, plus I understand macro, plus we talked about earlier, DXY, COVID, and vaccine reopening, again, be a contrarian. Everything is bringing everything back together. And this weekend, next week, is going to be the fucking key. It's either Bitcoin get his big boy fucking pants, like fucking Ivan likes to call it, and go to fucking touch that yellow point, and then we know we're in euphoria. So just be ready. The moment the parabola break, exit, tether that shit, and just be like, hey, it was nice knowing you. Or it decides to be like, you know what, Binance FUD. You know what? CFTC is getting in this bitch, and then getting the retracement. You know what? They printed so much money already for the stimulus that they approved, so they have to strengthen the dollar because, dude, they're not giving away fucking money. Every money that they give, they're gonna get it right back by liquidating. They give you the Billy, they print the money, and then you think you're getting it, and then they raise the fucking XY, and then they crash everybody else. So they give you the malinvestment. You go in there. Deep in your balls, and then they liquidate you and they take back the asset that you thought you were winning. I mean, it's the most fucked up shit ever, right? It's like Monopoly but advanced. When you're doing the right thing and you're conservative and you save, they're like, no, we'll print money. We need to make him take risk. And then when you go take the risk, because you're like, man, they're printing money anyway, that's when they pull the rug on you. I mean, it's just so just keep an eye on that. And honestly, if we get lucky enough to go touch that thing, that'll be amazing. Amazing.
Well, keep in mind, chat, that these are charts and lines can change as with time and price. So spikes like you're running trader mentality and metrics. It's your argument. So that's a fair one. So I'm still a fan of
wanting people that are playing. By the way, full disclosure, I don't own any Bitcoin. I don't plan on owning any. Okay.
No, but it is an important asset to look at because hey, it spikes in price. That's going to affect Hex somewhat.
Absolutely.
You see it all the time. If crypto market go up, generally,
these are macro trends, right? And it's like, you gotta look at charts and lines at some point, right? If you want to try to analyze anything at all, otherwise you can look at what you think is fundamentals is all manipulation. And so if you believe in crypto long term, it's going to go up either way. It's pretty fucking boring to just sit around and not talk about charts, right? Like, what else are we going to look at? So, like, if you don't like charts,
it's very important. The guy that I follow, a macro guy, they're not fucking traders that fucking tell, oh, this is what Bitcoin did an hour ago and this and that. I got no fucking time for that. That's like, if those want to, Ivan does that a lot, Carl does that a lot. That's cool. That's not me. Again,
these are longer term.
Yes.
By nature, I agree with that. But you can also follow, say, a plan B with the stock to flow model, which is what I'm a fan of, and that's why I really do think we could hit 6 digits this cycle.
Perfect.
So there's and that's what makes a market, right? Is because we have
we did a stock pro for Hex too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have all these different charts and metrics, and they can be validated by different ways over the years. And it's fascinating because probably one of them will be right over the other this cycle, and it's like, okay, well, how's that going to play out? Because like, where's that disconnect going to occur with all these years of data? So.
Yep, that's the key. What I was trying to tell people is like, again, nobody's dumb. Think for yourself, but understand that this is data provided to you, because it's not just going to be one. It's more going to be a combination of all. I try to give as much as signals as possible, the same way Richard does, because again, this is how this topic kind of started. Why I said that I back up his view of the 30K on average by the end of the year, because all the data that I care about, all the macros plus everything combined, point out that no matter who it is, we're near some type of short-term top. Be ready for that shit. So when it comes, don't act surprised. Meaning if you're still on the fence with your T-shares and you're messing around, when Hex goes, it goes. Because when the bear market comes, we get the thing to praise. Because be always 1 to 2 steps ahead, know what's to come, and then don't be in panic, because that's not going to solve anything. So that was kind of the message. Not like, hey, go trade Bitcoin tomorrow, put a limit order over there.
No, I didn't take it that way whatsoever.
No, but I will be, like, I'm not a trader, right? I move my coins maybe like once a year, if that, right? And this would be like one of those times where it seems like a critical point, right? It seems like something I want to personally take action on. Not financial advice. Don't just follow me. I'm just some fucking guy on YouTube, and I don't know what I'm talking about. And looking at me, but what else are we going to look at? That's probably the most interesting chart I've seen regarding the long term.
Instead of giving you redundant shit that you kind of already know, the point is, hey, here's information that I found useful, because somebody that I respect. That's the key, because that's already a big deal. And he's thinking macro cycles. Boom.
Yeah.
Important PSA. Our friendly neighborhood hexologist is on right now.
Oh shit! All right, maybe we should hop off.
Feel free to hop over and say hello. We if we have a good thing going here, we keep going, but we also like to cross promote. So check out Hexo, get in there, say hello, have both streams open. I know some of y'all crazy.
On the stream, if you want us out, we'll be out. But if you want us here, we'll be here. It's up to you.
Actually, I'm actually gonna go listen to Hexo and be selfish. So thanks everybody, and Whales Only, Nardo, Brazology, Spike, everybody in the chat. Thanks for coming. It's not my show, so I'm just gonna leave.
Peace out, coffee. No, seriously, thank you for coming on and that initial discussion about the Hex hiring job fair or whatever was outstanding. I can't wait to see where that goes. So on short notice, thanks again for coming on, man.
It's gonna be fucking great. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Awesome. See you.
Be great. Well, that's great. Again, it's an opportunity for people in the community that can add value. And imagine, you're getting paid to help build something in Hex, which you already have bags in. I think that's another win-win. Another way Richard can add value and by creating opportunities. So for those who are able to do the job, I mean, that's also that, because don't go fuck it up, because please make sure you're ready to go, because it is not worth going fucking up the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got plenty to talk about. Still left here. I don't know if you're familiar, Karim, but we do a few different segments on the show. Somebody's got the drag strip. Is that Yashdeep? Okay.
No, I stay on mute most of the time because it's ridiculous.
I got you. All right. So we did this one, I guess, about a month ago, and it's just kind of like it's called Who Here. And we just go around the room, and it's hex based, and everybody in chat, you can, copy and paste your raise your hand emoji and stick it in there, and we'll just go around the room. Just some fun questions pertaining to Hex. If you don't want to answer them, you have every right not to. I don't think these are too invasive, but we'll go around the. Actually, it's all at once. Actually, so raise your hand if any of this criteria applies to you. This is just a fun little Hexagon community survey. Who here has bought Hex in the past month?
I have.
Yashdeep. Well, this will not apply to Yashdeep. Who has bought Hex in the past week?
I don't know.
Nice. Very nice. Who has staked Hex in the past month? What you doing with that Hex, Karim?
Remember,
What you doing with that hex, man?
I like it at 2 mil. I want to do it.
Okay, I got you.
Stacking it up.
But if the price keep pumping, it becomes more difficult. Then I'll just do a 1
True.
mil. But because again, it's 15 years. I need to make sure, and I don't have to worry about it.
Gotcha. All right, well, this kind of answers.
That's a good point. Yeah, like I said, I'm open to that. Right? It's funny. Silver was looking at Joe when Karim got hit in the account. I'm like, dude, no. I show up where you can track my wallet.
Wales is like both.
Yes, and I can confirm that.
David, yeah. Kevin's raising his hand on both. All right, cool.
Hey, Kev,
Next one just kind of answers itself. So it was just like staked hex in the past week. So if
I got a good one. Who sold Hex over the last?
we did that, but go ahead, do it.
I want to know who's been selling out there. Show yourself.
What's time frame?
Oh, okay. Both the one last month, last week. Okay. Anybody in the chat? Speak that truth.
Check in chat. I don't see any hands going up.
Okay, so it's why it's all bots, huh?
All right. Actually, I need to dig out a couple of these others. I know Vince did it. Not did what I'm gonna say, but participated in this survey.
Yeah.
Who has sold some hex before?
Oh,
For taxes, like 2,500 or something.
It's okay, man. You don't have to explain yourself. It's all good.
I appreciate the
Yeah. Who has
me? It was hey, I had to pay for staker wallets.
Oh, that's a good reason to sell.
Yeah, because I had to. But not
Other people.
This again, it's just
Yeah.
Omar on 75, 100% staked?
Boom. There you go.
That's the way to be. All right. This one's a little dirty. Who has sold hex to buy another crypto?
Oh man. Wait. Ethereum doesn't count.
Correct.
Yeah. Because
Swapping doesn't count.
Because I sent ETH to the staker wallet thing. So yeah.
Not seeing any hands in chat. Chat is awesome. Look at you guys. I love you. You're so smart. Who here has sold another crypto to buy hex or swapped out of crypto?
Oh, definitely.
I dumped that uni ASAP.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
I was gonna say, I sold my Bitcoin for Hex.
Yeah. Same here.
Nice.
And Ethereum, of course.
Oh, hands are going up in chat now. Boom, 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 boom. All right, yeah. Who has it, right? All right, good.
Like money printers.
Exactly. All right. This is just any time frame. Who here has at least one hex in its existence? Who here has at least one hex referral?
Oh,
good job, gentlemen.
And this isn't including self referrals, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those two.
Because that doesn't count as a referral, technically.
There's a small delay in chat, so I just keep watching and see how many keep putting their hands up. Yep, hands are going back up again. Nice. All right, I'll wait 1 second because this one's gonna go back a little ways now. All right, same concept, but
I like this question. This is good.
who here had a hex referral in the launch phase?
I wasn't.
Nice.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, launch phase the whole year. I'm sorry. I missed it.
AA. Yep.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I understood like first day or whatever launch phase. No, the whole year.
I got first day too.
Nice.
Rights.
Wow, that is wow. All right.
Yeah, because man, I got the whole famine. You know what I mean?
We need a hex badge for that.
Yeah, right.
Contact Matty Allen. All right. This one's a fun one. Who here in the launch phase was lucky enough to score 1 million hex or more per ETH?
Oh, you heard me.
Pretty close to it, yeah.
What's up, Vince?
Yeah. Oh my God, I hate you guys right now. There's a guy. His name is literally like that.
Oh, Yashdeep, what's up?
It's real.
Dude, yeah.
Matty Van. Oh yeah.
Day 43 OG. Literally.
Effortless crypto. Look at all these guys getting Oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah,
You guys
he
rock.
went as high as like 1.8 at some point, right? The lowest low or whatever, some crazy number like that.
Yeah, I think that was day 43, right?
Yeah. The highest I was able to get at the time was about 150,000 hex per ETH, and that was after the dump towards like 222. Because at first I was getting around like 75,000. Because again, again after the big well pump, the thing. So, but again, when the dip thing came down, oh yeah, that's when I loaded because I didn't have to wait for AA to end and stuff like that, and that's when I just, made my floor there, so to speak. But yeah,
nice. People are putting their days in chat. So Matty Van,
day
33,
beat 33.
day
Was it
35,
the one that's like the biggest, the lowest dip.
43, wasn't it?
Whatever that day was.
I think it's 33. Yeah.
Oh, it was 33?
33 was the best day.
Because there's a hex again. His name is Day 43 OG. So
okay, so yeah, that's why I automatically go to 43.
Like,
but yeah, 33. I think there was less than 300 ETH in the lobby, if memory serves.
Yeah, everyone got like 1.8 million or something.
Yeah, I did not get that.
Okay, let's put the question in the other way, which is funny. What was the highest ratio anybody bought on the pair? Mine, the lowest. It wasn't too many hex, it was just like $3,000. But
Is this in launch phase?
Yeah, during launch phase, I bought as low as one of the pumps. It was like something to be like it was like 40,000 hex per ETH, some like stupid. When it got very very low and stuff, I was just like, hey, but again, I just stayed, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, I'm really.
That's the highest premium in ETH.
I don't know if I remember or paid attention to that, but 40,000 probably sounds like something.
That sounds about right for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, day one
days were 40,000.
put like a little in.
Yeah, because it went as high as when it was around 35,000 hex per ETH. The little ratio on the chart, I think I saw as low as like 25,000 hex per ETH, some stupid number like that. So even from that point, the price still did a 60% move up because when it went, it just went, And it was, big payday was around the corner. So you're like, hey, locking in the T-shares, 3x move plus big payday. So when you do the math on that, it's actually lower. But I was like, hey, I needed to, for the dream account, whatever. So
that's another one. Who I didn't even have this one typed out. Who here got in got more hex? I'm not saying you went all in, but who here got more hex a week within big payday?
Oh yeah.
Within, meaning like before big payday or after big payday?
Before.
Yeah, that's how I got the crazy ratio.
Nice.
My goal was, hey, that was like a big payday, and I'm going with 555. So yeah. Because I got a little bit more than an entire fold because mainly, everything went to the dream account. Who in here has a dream account again with a 5555 stake with at least, and you can combine all the stake with at least, okay, let's be cool, 50 T-shares. I know maybe some people getting late, but at least 50 T-shares. I mean, because I don't want to do a big.
Just trying to do the math.
Or we can keep raising the raise. Be like, hey, 50 T-share, 100 T-share.
Oh yeah. All right, we're good.
And you can do pre-big payday, or you can even do right now as it stands. Like, because we're out there doing all this education, like, who's actually taking actions, right? So yeah, it's like a two-part question. Who in here has a dream account? If you don't even know what that is, that's a problem.
All my accounts.
I'm failing my job if you don't know what that is. And then at least 50 T-share. I'm gonna start low.
All my accounts are my dream accounts, and they all have.
Yeah, I can say the same thing too.
All of the accounts are dream accounts. I love it.
Yeah.
Amen. See, love everybody. That's awesome.
Nice.
T-share preservation in the game. So,
yeah, we're at an important anniversary right now for the COVID dip. So, who here 1 year ago bought that dip?
Ethereum.
Just in crypto.
I think I bought a little bit of it. Yeah.
The $100 Ethereum. Oh my God! I wish I had more money at that time, but
I don't remember.
I still, because it was a crazy crash, and then the funny thing is, some of my money was still in the stock market too at the time. So I only got like, it wasn't a big deal. It was just like 5 ETH. And then at the time, you know, because I was like, yo, that day I was like, yo, buy it. But then I was fortunate. My company went on a 10x run. It was crazy. And then that's when I started to buy progressively over time. But I bought a bunch when it was like 200, 250, rise up, swapping it, hexing it, and yeah.
Whales. I was buying futures. Of course you were, bro. Of course you were. That's such a whales thing to do.
Yeah, because awesome. I shorted the market right after the first, because those were crazy days, dude. Like stock market was, for those who don't know, like a limit down, like the whole market goes down by more than like 7-8%. They have to stop it because it's not supposed to happen, because it's supposed to be the biggest liquidity in the world, and then it's still just free falling. So imagine with all the negativity, Cabana, that was like the surest bet in the world, because everybody knows the reason why shorting is so popular is because it's easy to be negative, right? To just bet something going down, especially when it's up so much. So people were just like, stepping on this thing. So my friends were making crazy money on it. I was just like, man, I'm not about that life. I just exit position, waited, and bought the bottom.
Yeah, I will never forget that evening. I was sitting on my couch over in the other room, and Raul Powell just tweeted out a chart. Mm-hmm. And it was a long-term chart, and he was like, you know, it was about to hit the bottom line, and it hit the bottom line, and it went straight through it. And I was like, whoa. I was like, either this is the end of Bitcoin or you get in now. And I was just like, I'm buying Bitcoin, I'm buying Chainlink, I'm buying Ethereum. And yeah, it worked out. I unfortunately, well, I bought Tezos and actually did well with it and got out of that crap. But that was
bullshit. Yeah,
it was like that's the moment. If that thing breaks, it's either done or it's wicking down. All the stops are hit. I think that's when what's its face, Arthur Hayes, and that whole thing went down with the liquidations, and they had to stop them, and or else it would have gone like
you know what they did? It's true. They unplugged the whole fucking system.
Yeah,
they pulled the fucking Robin Hood move. That's how they. I mean, real talk. That's what they did. They did.
Yeah.
They pull up a Robin. We gotta be fit. So it's just like, because the whole thing was about to go to shit, and then they would have just murdered the chart even more, to the point where like you lose hope. Nobody's gonna be able to say, "Oh, this didn't happen." It's in the chart.
Yeah.
So, and this is what gaps can do, which is nasty. Even in a regular stock market, people thought, "Oh yeah, it's just gonna bottom here," and then nope. When it opened the limit down, market was pre-market, Cabana. It was already down double digits. People were just insane. And then the epic was the weekend, because futures started the day before on Sunday night. Mm-hmm. You see the market in Asia already going red like crazy. So you already knew. That's what my friends were doing. They were just watching overseas market, so they knew what the Monday morning would look like. Bloodbath. People running around with chicken with their head cut off. It was the craziest drama too. Oh my God, Lehman Brothers 2.0. What are we gonna do? And I'm like, I was chilling with my friends. Like, dude, what are you guys doing? We work for a company. Sell, do your customer, you're gonna get paid. What are you worried about it? We're not the billionaires being wrecked. But the little guy pension got wrecked too, because that was tough. See your 401k get cut in half like that? Shit. That was a wake-up call of the wake-up call. Because you hear about it, right, Cabana? They talk about it, no, because I'm fairly young still. But when you see, I mean, I didn't have much. It was just like, 80K, whatever. But you see the thing get cut in half, and you're like, fuck. And the sad part was, there's nothing you can do. That's when I realized, and I use that analogy, like you can do two 15-year stakes before you're, if you're my age, 30 or whatever, or even 40. They're talking about raising the fucking Social Security age and all this other bullshit to like from 65 to 70, and with the option of, if you still want to work, we'll just keep you in the system until you're ready to call quit. That's insane. You can do literally, for those who maybe heard this the first time, you can do two 15-year stake before your 401k money comes. This is why I say Hex is like the evolution of that. 4,000K, and you have
glorious. Well, it was like, I got stories on that one. I saw people calling in to cash in their 401ks at the bottom in 2008. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it is terrible when you think about that. If you don't have the luxury to sit on dry powder, you are buying.
Wait that it bounce back up. Yeah.
yeah, you are buying other people's, bags at that point.
That is so true. I had one experience that a customer called me, was in fear. I said, sir, there's nothing you can do. Just let it, because you're going to regret it. They're going to pump it back. But still, at the time, when you're in maximum fear, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah.
For you fans of the show, Easy Trivia is coming up.
Hey, nice.
But Karim is going to be his first time participating. All right, I had one left here. And all right, I guess a prerequisite question. Everybody watch Silver the Antidote chain analysis videos?
As of late.
Yeah, or any of them really.
Yeah.
So where he pulls up the spreadsheets. Okay. So this
the next one I saw it, yeah.
And this is the last one. Who here has seen their address, any way, shape, or form, appear in one of Silver the Antidote's spreadsheets in one of his videos?
Epic.
Come on, answer.
Come on, dream account. Come on, get out of here.
Let's just say I got named once, But here's the thing, and again, and I've always
that was last episode.
Saw it on the spreadsheet,
and those spreadsheets are long. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Again,
I'm not like top 10.
How about this for full disclosure? Yes, I do have multiple account, but the main one is the dream account. That's the one that most of the stuff goes, and there's only one. I manage stuff for family and stuff like that, but that's the main one, and that's the one that I'm working to make it super by itself. He pointed out a good point. Like even the 3 Arrow guys, like these people that got multiple wallets that could be sitting like, oh yeah, this guy is a this and that. We already have prosperous Poseidon, and that was a good point that he pointed out because I watched the stream. When you combine the 3 Arrow wallet, it's like, what is it? Some 10 or 15%, because I think prosperous Poseidon is 10%, right? At least to get that logo. So it's like, don't worry, it doesn't matter if you don't sell. There's no taxable event. Doesn't matter.
What's your day job?
And Trustless had a question up here. Hold on. Yeah. All right. So Trustless has one more. Ooh. Who here? I believe I asked this with Vince on the show one time, but we'll go for Yashdeep and Karim. Who here has emergency end staked to stake longer?
Oh, yeah. No, never. Fortunately, because I don't. Hey, it's okay. Vince, you were early enough, so it doesn't matter. So that. And if you stake it like less, because at the time, those people stake it only for usually about a year.
Yeah.
Less. So the penalty is not as bad as if you stake for like 10 years and then you made a mistake or whatever. So, but the real game, I can't wait. It's going to be like year 10 and up. Oh my goodness. Guys, I run the math. This is the payout becomes stupid. Forget price increase. If we start getting, again, hypothetically, with inflation rising, if we start getting 50, 70, 100 hex per T share, even at current price right now, it's just stupid. I'm almost afraid to say it on stream how much the payout per day is. It's just stupid. And, and this is the one that's like, once I understood that right away and I just tested the system, I was like, dude, 5x5 is the only way. My brain just wouldn't let me do any other because it just doesn't make sense. And if you factored in what I just talked about, irrespective of age, there's a gentleman in the Hex Pro chat, 65 years old, he got 15-year stake. Because again, true accumulation never ends, true wealth never ends. You just need to do proper key management. You can give it to your descendants, your family, this and that. Because I always ask myself 3 things, and I talk about it on the stream. It's super important. I learned that from Simon Dixon, funny enough. Like when people say, oh, you're going to sell, all the 3 things you always ask yourself. Number 1, sell for what? It's very important. Crypto is here to stay. Fiat is in a forever bear market. We can sit here and talk about bond, this and that, the yield. Yeah, but it's a control structure. They can't let this thing rise too much because it's going to murder the whole fucking thing. So like Wells had it, literally, it's a perfect control structure descending, just literally channel. So which means as the year continues to go, it's just going to get worse and worse. People forget Bitcoin is only 12 fucking years old. So imagine the value of a 15-year stake. Imagine where Bitcoin is going to be. So it's just, and the fact that, again, with decentralized, all this other stuff. So to me, that's number 1. Sell for what? Number 2 is, again, when you want to do that selling, understand the tax ramification, especially if you've been getting sick returns, because there's no fucking way IRS is gonna let this thing go. Any market over $1 trillion, they're like, yo, we gotta get a piece of that. The same way Binance is being sued right now being probed because they see all the liquidation. CFTC is like, yo, that's our money. What do you mean? You can't wreck our citizen. That's our job. Funny joke, but real talk. So literally, we're like, yo, you're fucking with our money? No. We'll let you in with the Binance US. But we know where the real money is. All that future stuff, all of that, 100x leverage. This is actually the only fucking reason why they hold Tether so much, because they need it for the futures, for the borrowing and the people getting wrecked and all that stuff. So number 2, tax implication. And that's something I learned from Trace Mayer too. OG Bitcoin, because I'm gonna be a staker last resort, right? T-shirt. Ideally, like Yashdeep really perfectly said, sell once per year, beginning of the year, easy tax, run the numbers, pay your dues, you're good. Like I'm talking about like all your expenses. If you're good, you can literally map that out, add a little buffer for like expenses, and then leave the rest for like if there's an emergency. Because when you do that, move to fiat, the tax man is waiting for you. And then number 3, related to that, what jurisdiction you're in. I firmly believe there's a high probability that, if America doesn't fix its ways, 15 years from now, I am not going to be here. I'm going to be in an ideal scenario anywhere around the world that's more friendly for me, period. Best case scenario, maybe Puerto Rico. Worst case scenario, somewhere else. So those are the 3 things you should always ask yourself, because you can do more damage to yourself than good. The same way IRS is chasing those OG Bitcoin for their 2014 trades. And there's that big scandal. This guy almost, want to kill himself because he owed like some stupid amount, like $70 million worth of tax of crypto trade. I mean, they're going to catch up. So don't think DeFi or not, they can just track you to the exchange. So there you go.
Yeah, you bring up an interesting point that was on the rundown here to go over. And Kirk, because of his residence in Puerto Rico, we've talked a lot about this, especially within the past couple of weeks. It's okay. So what is the likelihood that, just mainly for political reasons, Democrats would like another state because they feel that these are extra electoral votes and whatnot? What is the likelihood that, one, Puerto Rico becomes a state that loses its territory status?
That would be shitty. Exactly.
And 2, if that does happen, what happens with the tax laws? Because
there's Article 60 thing.
Yeah, we would most likely see them go away, and then it's like, okay, well, where do you go at that point?
This can happen. Yeah, it doesn't seem reasonable. It takes a lot to get that going, and I don't think the people of Puerto Rico want that to happen. And you would have to vote on it, and I don't see it.
Well, they did have a referendum. They had a referendum in November, and I think it was 52-48 in favor of becoming a state. And that was the first time that they had voted that way. So I'm not saying that.
Is it because of the funding that they didn't get for?
I think that
is that why.
I think that's quite possible.
Kevin, I think there's 2 scenarios here, and this is a very, very valuable point. And this is how we can stay unbiased and just look at the strategy of the incentive on both sides. If enough people migrate to Puerto Rico and it becomes a viable thing, and by the way, they do the same shit in Europe too. Spain is trying to potentially do that. Portugal is definitely doing that already.
Spain's right next to Portugal, so they see it.
Exactly. So if enough money comes in, it fixes itself. Because one of the things I was watching Colin talk crypto, because he's in Puerto Rico, there's this thing, and Maddie talked about it too. You have to also do like a donation thing. And some people are smart to donate to kind of, political party that will help push that narrative. So it's a political play. Be like, hey, we know why you guys are coming here. You got the money. Pay us what we need and deserve, so we can put this to bed. If you don't pay us, we're gonna go do that. Because you gotta look at the incentive. Because I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I look at the incentive. Those who want to be part of the states, because they know they get the funding, the government funding. It sucks for tax purposes, but hey, we're gonna get some of that free money being printed around the world in dollars, which is a big deal. So they look at it like that. But if the people migrate from that, give enough dollars to overweigh that compensation, that becomes a different story. So it's all basically a study of incentive. The same way Germany is not dumb to say, hey, hold your fucking crypto. You just need to hold it for a year, no tax. will let you run because they know Deutsche Bank is all fucked and this and that. And it's in a funny way. That's why I made that good analysis. Like, it's not a joke. I believe Hex can be the bond market of the future and in capital state because those guys, they're from Germany. They understand money, bonds, what's going on. And Germans are typically disciplined with holding long-term this and that. So the government know how to incentivize the people so that we can just be cool. We just don't want too much of that activity in and out. So just hold that thing for a while. And by doing that, it's smart because the crypto is more value over time. That makes the country more rich because those who don't overtrade becomes more wealthy. The wealthy people stay in the country, wealth stay in the country. So when we go all for crypto, because that's what's going to happen, country's going to start fighting for people, citizenship and whatever. Because when you make enough money, dude, you can get 5 passports if you want. You can just like, the thing that sucks about US is you pay that exit tax. That's some bullshit. That's 30% on your net worth.
Well, so you can get a passport without having to pay exit tax. Some countries don't let the US know that you have a passport or a citizenship at their country. And the chat brought up a good thing, Nomad Capitalist. He's the expert on that. So I would recommend looking him up just for educational purposes. You can learn a lot from his videos. It's pretty good, and he talks.
That's good. That's very good. You have a backup exit because, guys, funny enough, because I'm a permanent resident, I do everything, but I'm not citizen, and the reason why I hesitate because all my siblings are. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. It's all cool until fortunately, I got 5 more years. You know what I mean? And then because I always stay out of trouble. I never got anything on my record, whatever. So it's just like, but again, it does help. When you're a citizen, you worry less about visas and shit and then back and forth. Like I get all that. But again, we're talking about money here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that because I thought about the Puerto Rico play, but what Cabana brought up is a good point. So it all comes down to money. If they get enough money, they're going to put that thing to bed and then get what they need.
Well, I think the infrastructure has to be upgraded significantly. So another thing to become a state, they would have to basically go through and revamp the entire little island, which would take a lot of capital. So again, even if people are voting for it, I think it still takes a lot more for that to happen. That's just my opinion. Sure, Big K has a different one, and Funding Jim probably has a different one, but that's just how I see it.
Yeah, and I think you're right on the votes. Excuse me, you're right on the votes right now. As I think it would, the majority or the required number is not there in the Senate. Now, if they get rid of the filibuster, then that would change the game on that. And they just try to ram it through, then that, again, changes the game. So there's a lot at play right now. I'm leaning with you, Yashdeep, I think they're still kind of safe. What's sad to me is that there is a lot of crypto money that is there now. I know that just because I, know some, I guess, fund managers who know people, and they're like, they know people with hundreds of millions of dollars that are pretty much helping to rebuild parts of San Juan to make it hurricane proof.
Right.
And it's like, you're going to put the kibosh on that? Come on, man.
Yeah, and the money will leave. If people have to start paying taxes, they'd be like, all right, well, let's look for a next spot.
Exactly.
You need to be in Puerto Rico, and then hundreds of $millions. And people aren't going to move to Puerto Rico just because it comes a state, right? People only move there right now, like the wealthy people, because there are tax incentives. But if the tax incentives go away, then people are exiting, and then you have a bigger problem. So what if you have federal money coming in and they just, that just the burden falls on the taxpayer at some point. So I don't know if that's. I mean, it could happen. It's really risky for somebody that's looking into going to Puerto Rico. Then you're like, how do I hedge my bets? I want to do this, but I also don't want to fall into a trap if, the left is kind of taking control of a lot of stuff right now. And so it's like, well, if they just keep going and doing what they're doing, like anything is possible. And so, that's why Nomad Capitalist just, take a look at him. I think you guys will find a lot of value.
This is why you got to be cool with the people, so that you don't rub people the wrong feather. We saw the same thing, even my country back home in Africa or whatever. Like we didn't mind the people coming in on the European whatever, especially the spending money. That's cool. The problem is when they trying to just overrun the place and start telling people what to do too much. That's when it becomes a problem, because it's just a human thing. Any civilization, if you go to Asia or whatever, you start telling people how to run their country, they're gonna be like, bro, we welcome you here, but don't forget we're the natives. So there's always that kind of feeling. I know that very well because, hey, I came to the United States. It's not my country, right? I had to learn how to learn the rule of the land, and walk the right lane. I know my rights, but within certain things, I gotta make sure. So I think that's gonna be the key. The money is there, but the only thing that can mess up the money if people start getting an attitude of it and start to mess up the locals, then they're not gonna care about the money, because once they vote the thing, they can get the money. They just need to approve it, and then they just raise taxes, and then they'll fix the road. And then you don't like it, then you leave, right? So it's just finding that right incentive that's going to benefit everybody, because I don't think the real people that go there want to create problems. They want to be cool with the locals. So that can easily be squashed away if there's a proper dialogue. That's just my humble opinion. And then proper funding comes in. It's kind of that, again, people like to talk about the tragedy of the comment. No, that's easy fucking fix. Think long term. Stop thinking fucking short term. Scarcity mindset. Spend the money, do what you got to do, because guess what? You're buying you freedom to some degree instead of going back to the state, because guess what? It's waiting for you over there, 30% tax. At least the federal is going to get you. So just that alone, I think that should help incentivize people, the right behavior, so that man can be put to rest. So that's the way I look at it.
Gotcha. Vince, any take on that just after talking, I guess, kind of at length with Kirk and I, or any other insight for the Puerto Rico thing?
No, nothing I could think of that you guys haven't already covered. Yeah, I just I just think that it'll just suck to see the tax incentives go if they do manage to get statehood, and it's just gonna ruin everything over there, and it'll be pointless for people to go over there to help rebuild and all that. So
yeah, I mean, technically, I guess it's being rebuilt with private money, which I mean, if you want the dollars to go to the right places, that's the money you want. I mean, you don't want government money, and who knows where, look what happened with the freaking, hurricane supplies and stuff like that. It's terrible. It's mismanagement.
Look, government is number one malinvestor. Fuck, because guess what? It's not their money to begin with, so they can just spend however they fucking want. When it's a businessman and you know how hard you work for the money, you think twice about how you spend it. That's why we're always getting this fucking debt hole and whatever, and because they have unlimited money. Oh, we made a mistake. Let's just paper it over and just print something or whatever. So that's why it's like they're the worst business people. It's like the German socialists. Like, they're really good at telling people how to spend the money, but they know what to create the money creation, to do the ID and stuff like that. Now, the downside for the island is when it's built with private money, that's great, but the danger is it can't be creating a mini. I'm not saying it's happening now, but it cannot be creating a mini segregation where it's like San Juan, the rich people, the crypto people, the whatever. Because I've seen that in my country too. We focus on the capital, and then the people in the rural areas, they're not being taken care of. Guess what? Over time, those people become bitter, angry. They start to hate, and then that's how extremism comes in. We see that everywhere. I've seen that in Africa, I've seen that in Europe, I've seen that in Italy. That's how the extreme left to right pops up when the majority is not being taken care of. So that's why those people have to be careful, because this could be a play that can hurt over the long run, right? They let you in for a couple of years, build. But when they get enough money and they feel like you're not being relevant because you're not building bridges with the locals, the moment they feel like they don't need you anymore, or they're not desperate, chop you off. Makes sense?
All right. Well, let's close the book on Hexarico for now. We can open that one.
And have a backup plan, regardless.
Always.
Airbnb, I don't care. Somewhere that, hey, if it bounces, we can go back to the States, Florida, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be, just because it's the United States, there's going to be better opportunities per state than others. Yes. So it's,
This is why if I ever go there, I'm planning on renting. There's no way I'm going to buy. That's just me.
Where's that? Puerto Rico?
Yeah. Because I want to have that flexibility. Shit hit the fence. That's the beauty about crypto, right? I pack up my shit, I leave. I probably may not even bring the Tesla over there. I'll just be like, if I pick it, because it'll just be like flexibility. I'll leave it at my brother's house or somewhere.
You have to buy. That's part of the program, is you have to buy some real estate when you go.
Hey, Kevin, I might take you on that offer. I've heard great thing about Singapore. So, and it's a safe place too, right? I like about Singapore. So, but Kevin,
in Singapore.
I've heard a story in Singapore. You gotta be careful talking to people, because girls out there sometimes are paranoid. They just swing people for randomly, like you talk to somebody the wrong way, you're getting sued left and right. Is that true? My friend was probably exaggerating, but because when they had a bad experience, like people can just sue you for random reasons. Is that true?
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, right.
Never heard that.
We'll wait for the response. But.
Yeah. Wait. Hey.
All right. So I have a couple more things to talk about, but we also like to have fun on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time for a little easy trivia.
Okay.
Is everyone ready for a little easy trivia? Chat, are you ready for some easy trivia?
I'm not.
Why not, Vince?
I
mean, it's easy trivia. So, out of context Hex moment last night on
Oh my god.
Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can find that first.
Oh god, no.
Come on, Spiel. What happened?
It's a
out of
lucky-
context, Hex made a very nice video. And
it wasn't just you though. Like it was also Motley that got embarrassed. It was good.
Yeah, hold on, let me find it here. This beautiful thing.
Yeah, where is Motley? I haven't seen him in a minute.
He's traveling to North Carolina today.
Oh, wow, nice. Road trip.
So, there we go. Yeah. Oh, crypto events. Hold on. Let me actually do this correctly because I have to have sound with this. It's the only way to do it.
Video, huh?
If it'll let me. All right. So to prepare us for easy trivia, let's hope this works. It's not working.
Let's start.
No audio? Are we ready, Vince?
It's playing.
Okay.
No, we can-
Easy trivia, Vince. Easy trivia.
Right.
Vince, how many points is a touchdown worth? Coming off the Super Bowl, how many points is a touchdown?
This could be. I don't even watch football. Oh god.
This
You
could
can
be
do it, Vince.
awesome.
It's we should give him a hint. It's a lucky number. There.
7.
Got it. Well, oh no, technically not.
Oh my God, Motley tricked me.
Sorry.
I
Vince,
think he
you have
was
an
trying to
extra
help,
point.
actually.
What face?
That was unintentional sabotage.
That's crazy. It's funny. That could easily happen to me because there's so many things.
I don't need any clues, Motley. No clues.
Yeah. I'm here to help, guys. I'm here to win.
Anything you want to say to your fans in chat?
I'd like to thank everyone that got me here, and yeah, that's absolutely fucking nobody.
I don't know what to expect now. Or maybe out of context, Hex might have
Love that one. Vince is
out
gonna
of
have
context
like a
Hex.
championship belt.
Go to Vince.
Oh god.
Please don't do me.
Oh, man. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Lol.
Oh,
Make the video. That's epic.
yeah, that was good. Oh, whew. All right, here we go. With that intro, time for a little easy trivia segment. We'll go around the room and hope we do not create another out of context Hex moment.
Don't worry, I'm sure we will.
All right.
I'm not the best at it, so fair one.
First question, Vince. What's the capital of New York?
New York City.
Oops. We did it again.
So good.
That is crazy. But I mean, oh my God.
He was doing so well there for a couple weeks, and then like
wow, you literally set him up, huh?
Sabotage. Yeah.
What is it? He doesn't know.
The capital of New York is Albany.
Yep.
Kareem, do you know that?
Yeah, I knew that from a friend because we had a warehouse there. It was crazy, and it's actually far from New York City. It's like fucking almost in the. Yeah, it's tricky, but you can easily fall for it because now all you hear about is New York City. New York City. Damn. I mean, in the quick of the moment, if I was just to think quick, I probably would have fell for that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have a little time to think about it. So, all right, Kareem.
Oh boy.
I mean, let's hope we get up the first round.
Hey, at least I'm not the first one to get out, so that's good. I get that win.
All right, Kareem. What is the capital of Utah?
Hold on. Oh, I got 2 up 9. That's a tricky one. No, it can't be.
That's a handicap.
I know. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, fuck. No, I'm gonna miss this one. I'm gonna miss this one. Hold on. Salt Lake City.
The correct answer is Salt Lake City.
My heart was racing. Shit. I was like, fuck, I missed this.
All right.
Whew.
Reminder to our participants to turn on our private chat, just FYI, because our main chat is very smart, and they're welcome to post the answers as well. So
yeah. Oh, I don't have any other thing open. So
no, I'm just just want to be fair for everybody and also let chat participate. So
nice.
Had a few winners in there.
Whew.
All right. Now Vince is in chat saying, I knew it was the wrong answer. I just sunk myself for fun. Yes, no one believes you, Vince. No one believes you.
Sure you did.
Oh, at least I got one answer right. Oh boy.
Motley's like, stay out of the chats, Kareem. All right, all right. Yashdeep, what is the capital of Massachusetts?
Ain't so funny anymore, huh? Yeah.
Well, seeing as how I grew up in Connecticut, I should definitely know this. I'm in a tricky spot, but I can't think of anything other than Boston.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, final answer.
The correct answer is Boston. We have made it out of the first round.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a trick question. Yeah, it is. This is like the opposite of the New York thing, right? It really is just that stupid because it's the main one. Boston. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Kareem. Let's maybe back it down a little bit. How many years are in a century?
Huh?
How many years are in a century? Easy trivia.
Sounds like a trick question. How many years are in a century?
How many years are in
100.
Easy trivia.
Man, I'm like, is it treatment? Like, okay, yeah.
Yashdeep, how many years are in a millennium?
1,000.
There we go. All right, here we go. See, just getting you warmed back up.
That
first round was a little.
I'm like,
it was a little tense. It was a little tense. You guys are uptight here. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he's about to stab me or something. I don't know.
All right, Kareem. Yeah. Beijing is the capital of which country?
Oh, Beijing, China.
Correct. Yashdeep, what is the capital of France?
Paris.
Correct. Kareem, who was the athlete known to float like a butterfly?
What?
Who was the athlete that was known to float like a butterfly?
Float like a butterfly. Can you help me out with the sports, maybe?
Do you know this answer, Yashdeep?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, float like wow, float like a wow, float like. If you help me if I knew the sports, but nah, I don't know.
Well, I can give you a hint, but you'll be ineligible for the answer now. But I'll see if you know it. You want the sport?
Hold on. who was an artist.
No,
Right?
it's the athlete.
Athlete known to float like a butterfly.
Well, what if you finish the rest of the line? Float like a butterfly.
What is it?
I'm asking Cabana if he wants to finish the line.
I mean, I can, but
okay. I mean, Cabana, I didn't grow up here, so it's just I don't know what the saying is. I'm trying to maybe guess.
Who was the athlete known to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee?
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Wow. No, I genuinely don't know.
The answer is Muhammad Ali.
No, I didn't know that quote. Learn every day.
It's all right.
Learn every day.
We're in the random round now, so we'll see. Yashdeep, which musician starred in the Hunger Games movie series? Famous musician.
Good luck.
Hunger Games. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
I've seen the movie. This thing.
Starred in it as in like they were actually a part of the movie, or they?
Oh yeah, they were like a
movie.
Yeah. This musician was a key actor. Not like a starring role, but he was a main part. Hunger Games. This one's stumping chat.
I have no idea. Yeah.
These questions always get motley. This way.
I mean, how's that pop culture? I mean, Hunger Games is not really pop music, but yeah, sure.
Well, I mean,
I have no idea.
The answer is Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah,
I heard the name, but I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, he was a big role in that.
Lucky.
All right. Perhaps, we're all still in it here.
Mm-hmm.
Karim, what is the most famous nickname of New York City?
Most famous nickname? I can think of two.
I would say
I would say the Big Apple.
Correct. Yashdeep, Arnold Schwarzenegger was once the governor of which U.S. state?
California.
Really?
Why, you do that one, Karim?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Man, like going down the list here.
Don't be too hard on me.
Karim, what are the 3 primary colors?
2 primary colors? Okay.
3 primary
I would say, blue, red, green.
The correct answer is blue, red, and yellow.
Oh, what? Really? How? Oh, blue, red, yellow? Seriously?
I mean,
I swear there was blue, red, and green. Wow. Epic. Well, I got 2. Fuck.
all right. Yashdeep,
Knockout round. Let's go.
here we go.
One
For
down.
the championship. Or actually, no, number 1 contendership, because Bitfinesse actually claimed the championship. So we'll have to have a show if that is to occur. How many feet are in a mile?
5,280. Yeah.
80, yeah.
Yeah, 5,280.
The correct answer is 5,280.
Let's go.
Number 1 contender, Yashdeep. And Bitfinesse is watching you as a number 1 contender, obviously in chat. So, Yashdeep, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans?
Well, I'd like to thank Richard Hart for making Hex. I would like to thank my mom and dad for making me, and and I'd like to thank all the losers for making me look good. Thank you, guys.
Perhaps a special thanks to Vince as well for going out in the first round.
And Vince for not knowing
Yeah.
ever.
Oh man! All right.
The finesse, I'm watching you. Get out sometime.
Right.
I was gonna say we're gonna have to get him back
Yeah.
now because
I was about to say maybe you do one more question for Yashdeep and Bitfinesse, see if they get it, whoever wins. Yeah, oh, that's funny.
yeah, I don't know how that would work in chat because chat would probably answer it.
Oh yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense.
So
Yeah.
Yashdeep. No, this is fun.
yeah. All right. So I guess one of the last things I had just on our to-dos. So it's the elephant or whale in the room, the big stake on coming out, I guess less than 48 hours from now. What's
Do you
the
have, like,
take around the room? We had a fun time, I guess, off screen last week after the show was over with Big Kirk and I think Motley, just speculation as to possibilities as to what could happen, just things that people aren't thinking about. So most thinking is either this entity is going to restake, they're going to maybe just sell a little bit and restake, or other possibilities could be the evil dump, or the rare one is like OTC sell to an exchange, which would be bananas as well. So is there anything, I guess one, I'll just go around the room. Is there a scenario that you would be like, that would shock the Hex community? And what do you think will happen? So I'll start and I'll say it would be, because I'm staked, I think it would be fascinating to watch this entity market sell 10 million after he end stakes, FUD the market. Everybody's like, oh crap, the bag is becoming empty, price go down, and this entity just buys it and sends it and it's gone. That would be awesome. What do I think will happen? I'm kind of in Motley's camp. He's not here, but we've talked. I know what he thinks. I think it could very well be a non-event. So it could just get restaked. It could get laddered out. It could get thrown out for years from now. But that's kind of like my hypothetical versus what I think. So Yashdeep, what's your call on that? Mr. 42069 chart. Actually, I'll pull that up as you're talking.
Oh, you're muted, by the way.
Stupid motorcycles. All right, so the pattern's still kind of there, so I'm curious to see if that
A little bit, yeah. It's hanging.
And what I'd like to see is this person stay liquid for a while so that it bumps up the market cap. Vanity metric, fine, I don't care. But that'd be nice to see. Get a little more eyeballs and attention on Hex. And then I'd like to see over time this person stake or provide, or do, I'd like to see this person stake over time because I know they already have some stakes far out into the future. So just provide more reassurance to people. Like if somebody like that has a lot of money comes in and they're like, let me look at the biggest wallets. I want to see what they do. I want them to see this wallet and say, okay, this person did this much for this period of time. This gives me confidence. I'd love to see that. What I think would drive the Hex community crazy is probably something like what you said about selling over the counter to an exchange or like donating it. That would be crazy. I don't think any of those is going to happen, but we would lose our shit if that happened.
Yeah, there are multiple lose your shit scenarios, so they're fun to think about. But yeah. So what do you think will happen? Just kind of like restaked and.
I think initially keep it liquid, and then over a few months or so, as things continue to develop, just create a ladder.
So it stays liquid for a while as it gets sorted out.
I think it'd be nice to see a little bump up in the market cap. That's the main reason why.
Huh. All right. Cool. Kareem, what's a hypothetical that would be like, holy crap, and what do you think will happen?
Awesome. So actually, two things on that. So for me personally, there is no hypothetical that will give me any holy crap for two simple reason. Number one, again, I'm mainly staked. Number two, liquidity is so low right now that if you were to do that, dude, we're gonna be right there buying pennies on the dollars. We might get that 1 million per ETH again that you were talking about. So if he wants to give us a handout, by all means, we're definitely gonna. So absolute certainty for me. There's no scenarios events that can give me whatever. And then my certainty, because there was actually a pool that went about what the different options are. I'm certain about one other thing, which is there's going to be some of it, aka most of it, that will have to be restaked just from the logic standpoint of T-share preservation. Because those stakes, some of them were basically pre-big payday. So they were like kind of Genesis T-shares. So just to maintain that, because again, he's one of the big stakers, like you guys pointed out, he has a long-term stake and actually is the number one staker. So just to remain in that realm, you have to restake at least that plus more, because the share rate went up 70%, just to, again, be in the race and in the conversation. Now, he got his big payday bonus too, and all that stuff's going to come out. But that's my certainty due to T-share preservation. A lot of it's going to be restaked. Now, the rest of it, that's the quote-unquote uncertainty. Either ladder out dumb or restake the whole thing or OTC. That's his prerogative, but I'm not worried about it because T-share preservation demands that most of it has to go back into the system. Because that's why he did a 1 year stake and not 555. Maybe he's also checking out, hey, is this system still healthy, right? Are they fighting over each other? Is this growing? Is this, you know what I mean? Because that's what investors do. They reapproach the situation a year later. Shit, 160x up, money's in, we're winning. Let the winner run, right? So those are my two things, back up by my reasoning behind it.
Gotcha, cool. Yeah, Silver's his 3 errors theory is quite interesting because he's analyzed the profile of them, and if in some way it is them. He, again, going by their investment profile, is like they put this stuff away, and they're not really sellers or traders when it comes to positions like this. So that's also something to think about. Vince, what's could happen that would rock the community, good or bad, and what do you see happening?
I don't really see any like rock the community scenarios, but worst case scenario, maybe he dumps and then we scoop up Hex on the cheap, but I don't really think they'll do that. I've also heard that people think that he might sell OTC to exchanges, but I don't think I think Hex is still young to the point where exchanges probably don't see the value in Hex yet, so I don't really see that happening either. I really think that he's just going to restake, possibly just do crazy Cuatro Cincos or probably just ladder it out. Maybe just do annual ladder. So
I got another crazy one.
I think I might know what you're gonna say. Go.
Yeah. What if this person does a 15-year encapsulated stake?
But the code is not out yet, not audited. But he could be leading on the side.
Oh, the HEXbay thing. Yeah.
It doesn't have to happen right away. But like, what if that would the community?
Makes total fucking sense, dude. They Arrow Capital, they're a hedge fund, which means where to get investors. Just again, they could be doing a grayscale move. There's so much room for speculation, but technically the code is not out yet. But when it comes out, they could be leveraging that. So Yashdeep has a point where sitting liquid, helping the market cap attract people in, and just waiting patiently for the thing to come out, which adds to my theory of most of it, or at least a big chunk, will be restaked for T-share preservation, and whatever's left is just there for, encapsulated, sell this, that, whatever you want to do. So it's just pretty cool from that standpoint.
Is that what you thought I was going to say, Cabana?
No, I thought you were going to say like either something to do with good accounting, which
that's gonna happen regardless. Make no mistake. I know people that day, if it doesn't move, that shit gets good account. Get out of my pool. Get out.
Get out of my pool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We could help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
What do you think happened when Richard was saying, "Hey, this is kind of stupid to good account and then end stake"? No. Somebody else good accounted that shit.
Yeah.
And then early February, there was a situation like that.
If somebody else good accounts for you and then you have to end your stake, does the fee lower for you?
No, because you're still doing an end stake, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't tested out. That's a good point. But
that's a good point. I think it would actually be lower because it doesn't have to do all the other stuff. It just has to mint your coins.
I think
I don't know.
Yeah.
For somebody with that much money, if they were like being petty that way, that'd be
because somebody can just stay in the pool and remember they got the 2 weeks period and then we'd kind of be diluted for a while. Somebody just like, no, we want to get paid. We don't, and it's gonna add that positive pressure. No, you don't have 2 weeks, bro. We're kicking you out now, and then you can worry about you 2 weeks later. But we want you out because we want to start getting paid the next day. So
yeah,
especially it's lucrative for those staying in the pool, especially big amounts. So our ratio, because I think it's like what is it, like 150 or 170,000 t-shirts, some stupid number like that.
Yeah. So just talking math here, and this is the other thing that I wanted to read because Patrick from Crypto Sparbook wrote a note, and I have it jotted down here. And this was to clarify the share rate spike that some have mentioned. So he's done the math on it, and here's what he's put out there. He's like, people still think that the share rate will spike due to the large stake coming out less than 48 hours from now. Here's the proof that this stake won't affect the share rate at all. Zero change from this stake. Here's the data for this stake. The start date was day 104. The end date will be Yashdeep 469. Principal was 1.37 billion. T-shares, 175,000. Accrued interest, 900 million hex, and that value will then be almost 2.3 billion hex. Current ROI, it sits around 66%. So in the next few days, this stake will not get over 70% ROI, and therefore it will not affect the share rate. Example: if I were to stake 2.3 billion hex for 365 days, I get 175,846, which is what the current T-share is now. The stake won't get over 2.3 billion in the next few days, and even right now 2.3 billion for the same length won't give you more T-shares because the stake won't get more shares for restaking everything for the same time. It will not affect the share price.
Yeah, but it will affect it in another way. So quick math. When the guy entered in with the 170, share rate was a different price. Day 104, we're barely at 11,000 hex per t-shirt, if that. So when he goes back in, that's what I mean by he's going to need 60% more
that
hex
much more to
recreate the same t-shirt that he had if he wants to maintain position. So he has to put back in the 1.3 billion plus an additional at least 6 to 7, well, I would say 600 million hex just to maintain T-share that he had on the way out, and then do whatever he wants with the 2-3 million, the big payday. That is the real protection mechanism. The share rate has already gone up, and we're waiting for that day. Guess what? Share rate still went up the last 2 days. It's 17,045 now. It's not just 17,000. So there's other events that are created, especially the shorter stakes that just keep having those higher ROI. So when we tell people don't wait, we're not saying just the 15. We're saying every day to that point. Share rate's not waiting. So, but that's what gives me confidence that if he wants to remain his position in the pool, which I don't see why not, it will be to restake most of it to account for share rate increase. Again, unless he has other plans with that hex to go somewhere. So, which is fine. Either way, we're getting paid. He doesn't restake most of it, he gets less T-share. Less T-shares in the pool, people in the pool getting paid more. So one way or another, we're getting the benefits.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good opportunity if this person doesn't stake right away sorry about the car. If this person doesn't stake right away, it'll be a good opportunity for the hexing community to talk about the APY that we're going to be earning because, there's going to be a lot less hex in the pool or a lot less shares in the pool. So we're going to be earning more of the percentage, and it's just something that we can use that time to say, hey, yeah, Hex is still teetering around, 1 cent plus or minus 20%, but this is a great time to earn APY, and look, it just went up. And so I see that as like, let's say the price does appreciate. Sorry, children, my mic's not fucked up. There's these cars that run around in the background, and they cut off into the mic. Anyway, so as the price appreciates, I see this person staking. So if Hex is doing well, I see them. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah. It's just there's a little distortion when you talk.
All right.
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Okay. I could try to fix it. Actually, I don't think it's going to get better.
Don't worry. Yes.
What are you? What are you using the mic in the laptop or?
No, I have a separate laptop. I don't have a good mic, and this is not my. I'm sitting right next to a window. This is not my official setup. But earlier today, where I was going to sit, the lighting was really bad. It just looked really dark, and
maybe unplug the mic and plug it back in, because we can kind of hear it's just a little muffly.
It's just looks like he'll come back in.
Yeah, it acts weird. So even me the other day, I had a problem with the camera just died on me or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he has a good point.
Yeah, and I think that that wallet had some other coins in it too. So I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I don't know. Maybe the person will like sell those shit coins or whatever and buy more Hex, and then to kind of make up for the lost T shares because of the increase in the share price. So
absolutely,
I don't know.
But Cabana, by the way, Yashdeep is backstage trying to see if you can get him back in, please. Oh, perfect.
All right.
That's better. Yeah.
Is it?
Yep, it is.
Crispy.
Much better.
Okay.
What happened?
Oh, it's just some audio issues.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
But yeah, it's fixed now.
Oh, yes, I see the help in the chat. Jiggle your connection.
It's still
so what I missed there on that last part? Sorry, I had to.
No, Yashdeep was finishing his thought before the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys still hear me? Okay, it's good now.
Yep, it's good now. Yep.
So what I was saying is, as like, let's say the price for Hex appreciates, I see this person staking as that happens, kind of linearly with the price appreciation, because while it's not staked, everyone earns more APY. That's a talking point. As it starts to stake and the price is going up, it's like, oh, hey, it helps incite FOMO. Hey, you better get in, lock up your shares, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of why I see that happening, is it gives us an opportunity to talk about staking.
Amen. And those people got some severe powder on the side too, because again, if I think like a whale, act like a whale, it makes sense to, when we say T-share increase, it's not just a share rate. They can literally pump the price easily 5 to 10x, because why the hell not? And then that's going to price out a lot of people and create those weak hands to just dump the same way typical any other coin that's not, people not long term. The early pump, that's when most people dump, and then the coins just leave them behind. So just keeping that in mind is important, because if that entity thinks the way some of the long-term minded people are thinking, that's their long-term treasure chest. You know what I'm saying? 15-year state. So it's in their best interest to accrue that. They're already one of the top earner, which means they're also going to be the top earner of the inflation, which means their inflation is negative, which means literally without trading, just sitting on it, the wealth transfer mechanism is happening. Again, and I've said that many times, that's the power of the T-shares. The T-share that I have right now, my dream account, is the equivalent. If you stake short, you need like 150 million to 200 million Hex just to get that. So because it's all maxed out, because I'm winning against that inflation. So that way I'm not out there trading. I'm just getting my pay of the day as if I'm trading, even though I'm not, because I don't want to trade, because I ultimately get wrecked, right? Probability wise, right? This is what we call again buying the dip while you're staked. It's the same thing, and adding to that position. And to Yashdeep's point, as the price goes up higher and higher, the value of this t-shirt naturally goes higher because the thing that it yields is going up in value. Therefore, the equipment creating the yield is worth more. And share rate ensure of that to make sure people can't game the system in terms of, hey, I'm just going to dump on you and then still get more. Like, no, share rate will always act as that long-term holder, kind of like stock to flow, because you know, like where the dip is. And as people get more and more educated and the launch phase is gone, we're going to have more stability on the downside and easily just upside. And this is really where we take off, in my humble opinion. Because launch phase is done. Those every week to the downside, big payday is done. Don't expect that anymore.
Yeah, just as we get close to wrapping here, we got the joke off coming up for you crazy Hex Happy Hour fans. Did want to do a plug for Sunday night. We have doing like a whale watching live stream. Nothing could happen, quite possible, but Pep's going to be on, Wales is going to be on, Randy Hilarski. Just have like small panel. Might have room for guys here and people in the chat as well. But it's a newsworthy event, so just wanted to get a little activity around that. And
that's a good point, because technically we don't know what the time frame like could be Sunday night is the 15th.
Could be a non-event, yeah.
Because we're waiting for Monday, but technically, right, Asian time, Monday, Sunday. So, but somebody's going to good account that thing. I'm telling you, if no action happened the first 3 to 6 hours, somebody's going to kick him out of the pool. So, but it's fun. It's like, it's the battle of the stakes, man.
It's a game theory, man.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Joe Hexotic's about ready to start up. So he's got Serena Alonzi on, so I'm definitely checking that out tonight because I'm a fan of Serena. She's like the original OG female Hexican. Had the nails and all that stuff. Did the first video about Hex from our Hex lady. So she's a definite OG. I'm going to be tuned into that. Let's get to our joke off, and then we'll wrap it up here, and we'll throw it over to Joe Hexotic. Are you ready, Vince?
Yep.
Oh, well, that was rather emphatic. Hold on.
Let's hear this.
Sounds like you've come prepared. So
just a little bit.
Man, he's ready to go. All right. So what happens is, for our audience who is not familiar, is Vince and I tell each other some really awful, perhaps sometimes good, mostly bad dad jokes. And the first one, or excuse me, whoever laughs, the other team gets, or the other person gets a point. We do a best out of 7 here. And we have 2 esteemed guest judges this evening. Yashdeep is an experienced judge. He has done this before. And Karim is a first-time judge. You guys are free to keep your mics open. It's more fun that way. And again, if I laugh, Vince gets a point. If Vince laughs, I get a point. Why are you all laughing? We haven't done it.
I can't help myself.
No, exactly. Good job for
I'm
this.
priming you guys to just start laughing at all the jokes.
All right.
Happy person, be careful. But yeah, I'll try to restrain myself.
All right. So, Vince, I believe you still have champion's rights, even though we might have tied last time, but you're still champ. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Oh, all right. Well, here we go. Best of 7.
Yeah.
With our special celebrity Hex community judges, Karim and Yashdeep. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
I don't know.
When the punchline becomes apparent. See, I really need to take on Yashdeep.
I think I'm the winner over here because I get the laugh the most.
I really want to do one with Hexo, just like because I would win 7-0.
We
was
need to
like,
have
"Hey,
him.
we're gonna go with this." And then,
Yeah, we need to have him on at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What do you call someone who can't stop watching films with strong female leads?
Oh man, I don't know what.
A heroin addict.
That's good.
that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
That's good.
That's a good one. That's fucked up.
Children is ready. We're in it, children. We're in it.
Just for him.
He went there. He went there. Woo. That's a good one.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Shout out to my grandmother. That's the only way she can hear.
I love my grandma.
I'm fortunate enough to have
You
one.
could buy her some hearing aids with your hex gains.
You could laugh at my joke.
Trying not to.
Okay.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What do you call a priest who also becomes a lawyer?
I don't know what.
Father-in-law.
Yo.
Let's save me as I've heard that
It's
one
so
before.
fucked up.
Damn
But
it.
that's why it's funny. It's like Vince is going there. Oh my god, damn. Whew.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Why do white girls only count with odd numbers?
Oh, this sounds like a dangerous one. I don't know.
Because they can't even.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, you gotta get all the blondes mad at you now. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Your follower count's going to decrease on Twitter.
Oh, man, come
Wait,
on.
is that a joke?
Hey, Cabana.
I like our Hexagon ladies. Hey, Vince.
Did you hear about the two guys that got arrested for shoplifting a calendar?
No, I didn't.
They each got 6 months.
Two. That's good. It's good. Stop it, Yashdeep.
I'm laughing because Yashdeep's laughing.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to get these guys.
Since the bar so high, you know, that was
Yeah.
the other two. But that was a good one. I got
It was good. All right, I guess, was it round 4?
Yeah.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
What did the baby corn say to the mama corn?
Oh, I don't know.
Where's popcorn?
That's funny because it's stupid.
That's the goal.
They're all stupid.
I can almost guess it's something with pop coming. But fair enough. It is funny.
No, but not Yash.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, at least chat's laughing at my jokes. Thanks, chat. I appreciate it.
No, that was a good one. That was
Thank
the
you.
simplicity. I like that.
Thank you.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What do you call a hippie's wife?
I don't know.
Mississippi.
Oh.
You get it? It's that joke with the word miss. Miss is hippie.
That's
Yeah,
very good.
That was a good one.
I got to listen to Yashdeep process that one in real time.
Yeah, Vince is cheating. He covers his mouth.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Chat's on to him.
Effortless.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Whew. All right, round 5.
This is fun.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Did you hear about the circus fire?
No, I didn't.
It was intense. Intense.
That makes sense.
Like big top.
No.
Clowns. That's
Clown jokes, bro. All right.
I've heard that one before.
All right.
No laughing out of me. I don't
All
know.
right.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
How do you make water? How do you make holy water?
Sounds like a joke for the Joe Hexotic Sunday service. Or perhaps not if I hear the punchline. I don't know. How?
You boil the hell out of it.
That Karim's like,
But hey, you boil the hell out of it.
I mean, I guess you could say that's, yeah, that would be a good place to tell that joke.
Would you? Boil the hell out of it. Oh, man. That's epic.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Man. All right.
Yeah, all you left is the holy water. For sure.
Hey, round 6. Two to go. 2 to go. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
Why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water?
I don't know.
Because he was a little horse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you going there now, huh? You going there now, huh? Gloves are off. My God.
Hey, Cabana.
Yeah, Vince.
What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter?
I got an idea, but I don't know.
An irrelevant.
That was my idea, so that saved me. Oh.
Damn it.
All right, last round.
Final round, huh?
Afterwards, you got to wait for the reaction, and then you start laughing.
All right, clothing item joke here for my last. Hey, Vince.
Hey, Cabana.
What did the bra say to the hat?
I don't know.
You go on ahead. I'll give these two a lift.
Yep.
I guess so. That's. Oh, I hope
Definitely has some utility there.
Utility, yes, utility. Staking utility, I don't know, but I don't know.
Oh my God.
All right, my last joke. Hey, Cabana.
Oh, I gotta hold it together here. Yeah, yeah, Vince.
Did you hear about the chameleon who couldn't change colors?
For the sake, no, I have not.
He had erectile dysfunction.
That's fucked up. Enough, Gail, enough. This should be like parental control. Oh my God! Yeah,
big.
We're coming back after that. If
Big Kirk likes it if we make it to 7. We each have 1 bonus opportunity. Vince, do you have a bonus joke?
I don't actually have one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Vince,
I know I'm a judge, and I was supposed to keep track of who's winning, who's losing, but I was too busy laughing. I have no idea what the score is.
Well, if Vince wouldn't cover his mouth.
We might have to.
This is up by 1.
We might have another
daddy
tie.
today. Effortless Crypto says.
But yeah, oh my God, it was great. Good laugh.
Chat is biased against the host. But anyway, all right. Well, we won't have a tiebreaker today. Thank you, Vince, and thank you, judges, for hanging.
Thank you both for the laugh.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. We do our best to entertain here because
this is great. I like it.
We're a little different. We try to offer, not only entertainment, but if you stick around and see guests like Karim come on the show and Whales Only and Silver, you'll also hopefully learn a few things too. So, yeah, we welcome, this is what we call, again, we started at the top of the show, our efficient, non-repetitive, high quality, once a week, good time live stream that looks damn cool.
Damn, I like that.
Anyway, I'll leave it there. All right, so gentlemen, as we get ready to throw it over to Joe Hexotic and Serena, let's go around the room. And Vince, where can everybody find you on social media or YouTube? And I believe you have the Hexation stream. You're doing a lot of those now, right?
Oh yeah. People can find me at on Twitter at CryptoVince369, and we're doing the Hexation show. It's normally Sunday and Monday mornings, 5 a.m. PST. Because just trying to cater to that side of the world. So, and then if ever any Asian American guests want to come on, they can always hit me up and we can try to do a more US friendly time zone during the week. So yeah,
cool. And where they hit you up at?
You can just DM me on Twitter
at
CryptoVince369.
There we go. Yashdeep369, where can people find you?
That's exactly where you can find me. Twitter, Telegram, and then YouTube is Yashdeep Singh, Singh. You just type in Yashdeep. There's not a lot of them out there. You'll find me. And
I did try to find you on Twitter, I guess a few weeks ago, and there were quite a few Yashdeeps. So yeah.
Nah, they're fake.
Imposters.
Yeah.
Karim.
Yes.
Am I saying it right? Your magic?
Yeah, you're actually right. And I just type it in the chat for you in case you want to put it on screen for people to see it. But yeah. And then also on Telegram, usually Karim, but to avoid the scammers, it's at Hex Capital, right? Dream account. Can't beat me, and then that's for the Telegram. But on Twitter, it's just at Your Magic, which is very simple.
I just put it there in the chat.
Amen. I'd love to talk to anybody, new question, anything like that. And again, big Hex believer. And if you're new and you need help with setting up a wallet, I can hook you up with a StakerApp wallet, one of the best out there. So don't hesitate to reach out. Many has done, and we got to keep the movement. So very important. And the link is in the Twitter, literally. You click, you download, you reach out to me, and I'll help you get turned on. Ready to go.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you, Karim. Thank you
for your time, Cabana.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Vince, as always, for doing this with us and spending either 90 minutes or hours, wherever the time goes. It's a fun time, and hopefully we've had a lot of actually newsworthy subject matter to talk about these past few weeks. So,
and it went out pretty quick.
Yeah, well, time flies, man. When
you have a good time,
there's so much talking about, and there's so much to do, and it's a blast. And one last plug for Sunday night's stream. I think it's 7 p.m., but you'll be able to find it. I'll be tweeting that out. Again, Big Pep Whales. I might have surprise guests on. Who knows? And like Karim was saying earlier, and I was saying, might be a non-event. Guy might not do anything till the next morning or whatever, or we could see a good accounting, immediately. That would be funny. So
that would be epic. People don't realize yesterday on the chart for the expired stake, there was 500 mil that got expired that just disappeared end stake, and then it was a non-event. I mean, 1.3, 500 mil. What's the big difference? It's
really. So, yep, awesome. All right, so everybody, please do your community duty. Just at least at minimum, if you got stuff to do tonight, head over to Joe Hexotic's channel. Say hey to Joe, and especially Serena. She is awesome. I've had her on stream before. She's like the sweetest and the nicest, and also knowledgeable in crypto, which is awesome because we have the smartest people in crypto, men, women, all of them. That's why we're the best community. So
amen.
Yep, that's about all we got for the night. Thank you very much to everybody here. Thank you everybody in chat. And we'll see you Sunday. And if not, hopefully next Friday for happy hour. All right. I'll check you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Later. Later,
Thank
guys.
you.